rates are concerned. Those people they are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940 or online, lundmortgage.com.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. For years, I've been telling you about refinancing, new home loans, all the great stuff that the Lund Mortgage Team can help you with from start to finish. Now, things have gotten a little crazy, right? The rates were bouncing all over the place. Now they're officially higher than they've been in a long time. And now more than ever, I think it's important to have a mortgage professional that has been there, done that. Any Yahoo can sell you a mortgage when it's 2.75%. Those people are going away. The real professionals are the ones that are staying in business and helping their clients through this kind of tough time out there as far as mortgage rates are concerned. Those people are the Lund Mortgage Team. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, they've owned this team for a long time, over 2 decades in the Valley. They are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940 or online, lundmortgage.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar joining us today in a brave move after a Lakers loss. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. It's National Eat What You Want Day.
Huh.
I feel like that's a day we might have made up.
I can see that. Yeah.
I think every day is Eat What You Want Day for us.
I don't know. Miss Kim makes some yummy gnocchi this afternoon for lunch.
Got a
She
little
was home
gnocchi,
with me.
did you?
Oh, I had the gnocchi, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Had like a vodka sauce with it. Oh my God, it was good.
What is gnocchi again?
See, gnocchi is
you had some gnocchi.
they're little pastas stuffed with like a filling, and these had, I think, like maybe a cheese filling in or maybe a potato filling. Oh my God, they were good. And then you had this kind of marinara vodka sauce going on and some sliced chicken in there. Oh my God, it was
serious
good.
lunch, man.
Oh yeah, it was good.
I had chicken sandwich.
When Miss Kim is at home, I eat well. Thank you. Yeah.
I wish she was at my home.
Yeah.
My wife cooks amazingly, but she was off getting her hair done, so I just ate a chicken sandwich.
Well, I mean, you got to give them an opportunity to go get their hair done.
I wish we were neighbors because
yeah.
if your wife is busy, my wife is cooking, and
Yeah.
if my
go.
wife is busy, your wife is cooking.
You know what we could have is like houses next door to each other, and I've always wanted this with my buddy.
Conveyor belt?
No, not a conveyor belt, but a pass-through fence. You know, where we could go in the backyard.
It flips over. I've seen that.
Well, or a door like in the fence, so I could just come over anytime I wanted. You know, and I just knock on the back door. I always wanted that with a buddy of mine.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. You see it on the TV, and then when it happens in real life, somebody's going to end up screaming. That's all I know. Somebody's going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to see something they should not see.
That's true.
And it's all going to be over anyway. But
anyway, you know what? We could put like a bell on the fence. And we had to ring the bell, and you would hear it, and then you would press like a green light if it's good, or a red light if it's no good.
Why don't you instead have a thing where you hit the button, and if it, or we just have the lights already there, and if it's red, just don't bother me. And if it's green, right, come on over.
And vice versa. You know, it goes both ways. You know,
I think we could figure this out, but you're going to have to move next to me.
Why don't you move next to me? I mean,
I'm just very busy. It's very tiring.
Busy too.
Moving sounds like the last thing you want to do when it's coming into summer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Mhm.
It's
Maybe we
not
should
good
just
here.
wait for a while. Keon, who asked you?
Yeah, you're not part of
Talk
this.
about- yeah.
Nobody invited you.
Talk about Jeffrey and I.
Yeah, James, that's awkward. Anyway, so today, eat whatever you want day. And so I don't know what I'm having for dinner. I don't know. But I am going to enjoy the tears of Ralph with his Lakers losing 121-106 to the Warriors last night. I love how Ralph, Ralph made sure he had it going both ways. He's like, I don't expect them to win. He says that almost every time. And that way that he can be like, I told you so, which is fine.
You can go to the Twitters. I said Lakers in 6 back when the series started. So I expected a loss last night.
If it's going to be anything that is going to go to 7, I do not believe it'll be 6.
It'll be 6. It's done. Just like the Phoenix Suns are probably done tonight.
So
You've
you
been
think
saying that forever?
you think that what's going to happen is the Dubs are going to fly into LA, or are they going to take the train?
They'll
How
probably
do
take a
they do
train.
that,
I
Ralph?
think
Do they
probably
take
a
the train?
Greyhound bus or
Or like
something.
San Francisco take the train to LA and vice versa?
It's a plane. It's a 45-minute flight.
It's a plane.
It's a plane seems
What the hell?
unnecessary.
I mean,
45.
I
You
would
just
just
drive over there.
Well, you could do
Well,
a
it's a
bus.
6-hour drive.
You
Is
said
it
it's
a
45-minute drive.
No,
Well, you
it's a
could get on that train that goes along the coast there. That
Yeah, very
California
nice,
Transit.
Pretty view.
Oh, that would be nice.
They
See
can
what I
take a
mean?
train back because they got nowhere to go and after the game's over. So
Huh.
it'll be fine.
You mean the Dubs?
Yeah,
Is that
they'll be done.
Yeah, except for a couple things, Ralph. Anthony Davis, who we have been saying is a bit late for his injury. Not that we've wanted it. We're not hoping for it, but it did finally happen last night. He got his bell rung pretty hard. They're still trying to figure out if he's got some concussion going on, and so he may not be available for you. But I mean, I don't think it's going to end in 6. I don't think the NBA will let it end in 6.
You didn't think they were going to be here. So, I mean, that's fine.
No, I really didn't. And listen, I have admitted as much on air that the Lakers are good. So that's all you're going to get out of me. You can understand why early in the season I didn't think so, because they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah.
And then the trade deadline, they did some things. They actually worked, and now all the cylinders are firing at the same time. The injuries and the whatnot. This Austin Reeves kid, the answer to what if Jeff Hornacek and Steve Nash had a child? That kid,
Austin Reeves.
he's out there,
That's actually
filling in
really
some
good.
blanks.
I haven't thought about that, though. That's pretty good.
Oh, that is definitely the Hornacek
That's-
Nash love child
that's
right
spot
there.
on. Yeah.
So, all right. I mean, listen, I'm man enough to admit the Lakers are good. I was not wrong about them at the beginning of the season. I was not wrong. I wasn't wrong. But now here they are with a chance to get to the Western Conference Finals. But it's no different than what's going on with the Suns. It's no different.
I mean, I don't mean any disrespect here. I
you do.
really don't. But I watched the game last night. The Lakers Dubs game.
Mhm.
Neither team looked good. And neither team was able to hit. I mean, Steph Curry was throwing up stuff, and it was just clang, clang, and then Klay Thompson clang, and then they unless Draymond Green was in there, or what's the other guy? What's
Andrew
his,
Wiggins.
Yeah, man.
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
They didn't. I mean, good night. I look. I
You might
know.
have seen that way, but Curry had 27.
I know
Wiggins
he
had
had
25.
27, but it was like a sneaky 27. And the Lakers,
Yeah.
it was more of the same. Clang, clang. It didn't look like they were very efficient in their shooting. I'll tell you that much.
All right, so let's hear it from the Laker fan. What went wrong with the Lakers last night?
They lost.
All right, thank you so much. I guess I probably should have asked Keon that first. Keon?
Oh, I can answer that.
Right there. Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to see what went wrong. I mean, first of all, at the end of the game, when I thought the Lakers were getting back into it, our boy got hurt, and that kind of threw them off the rails a little bit. So, I mean, I don't think they got the support from the bench that they were typically getting in this series. I mean, so that kind of tailed off a little yesterday. I just think there was no way they were going to win this game. You weren't going to go in there. They're a championship team. You're not going to go in there and they're not going to not be fighting. You're not going to go in there and beat them. You're going to go to 6. This is a must-win game for the Lakers going forward. It's a must-win. They've got to win this game. And they're going to win this game because they're that good right now.
Well, Anthony Davis got his bell rung.
I heard this morning that there's no signs of concussion and he's not missing the game. And he's not going to miss the game.
I got news for you. The NBA is not handling concussions the same way the NFL is.
I know.
Or at least pretending to. And I would almost guarantee you Anthony Davis has a concussion. And I bet he's going to be all kind of goofy tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or Friday? Wait, Saturday. When's the Lakers
I
next
think
game?
it's tomorrow.
Is
It is tomorrow. Yeah.
Friday? All right. I guarantee you Anthony Davis ain't right.
Well, I don't think he's been right for a long time, but that doesn't matter. I think they're going to win tomorrow. I mean, I'm just the only way the Lakers lose this series is if they lose Davis for the rest of the series. It's the only way they lose this series.
No, they're going to lose
they're
the
the
rest
better
of the series.
They're the better team.
Do you think if the Lakers lose tomorrow, they'll lose the series?
It'll be tough to win a game 7 in San Francisco area. Yes.
Tell you what, I was watching and I got bored with it because they were up like 20 and I fell asleep, and so I didn't get to see the blow to the head of Anthony Davis. How bad was it?
It was bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty serious. It was an elbow to the head. Wiggins came down with he was going up for the rebound and he came down and kind of threw his elbow.
I think it was
wasn't
Looney,
intentional. Was it Looney?
I think it was Looney.
Okay.
It wasn't intentional, but he was woozy after that.
Yeah.
It didn't snap his head back. Let's put it that way.
Which is actually worse as far as concussions go, because that means that your brain moved even though your head didn't. And so that's not great.
There's an easy way to see if Anthony Davis has a concussion. After he took the blow to the head, you have to check, did his eyebrow slide over to the other side?
Oh,
If the whole thing went on, then that's a
well, he was
easy
holding his
way.
eyebrow when he went off the court. Yeah.
That's a concussion, Ralph.
I think he was trying to keep that centered. Yeah.
Well, no, I hope the best for Anthony Davis. I do not wish him ill will, but I won't be sad if he's not around on Friday.
Of course you won't.
Just saying.
Of course you will. Look, if he's at least at 50 to 60%, and the rest of the beauty of the Lakers is they're a team. And as long as the rest of the guys come out and show up, unlike other teams that only have 2 people, they'll win the game. And that's the difference. I mean, that's why the Lakers are way far superior than a team like the Suns, who rely on 2 guys.
I will say this: a couple of observations. Okay, number one, LeBron James did not come in and rescue the Lakers.
No.
Number 2, it looked like several of the I'm being just gut level honest from what I saw. Several of the Lakers seemed to gas because the Warriors were running the basketball quite a bit. It seemed like when I saw shots, the guys were looking like they were out of breath. One of them was on the when he came out of the game, he was like, "Wow!" He may have said something maybe a little different, but whoa. So it seemed like the Lakers were a bit gassed towards the end of that game last night.
I think they took, let's be serious. The NBA doesn't want the Lakers winning last night. They want game 6. The owners want game 6. It's more money for everybody. They probably want game 7, but I think that's pushing it. But the Lakers didn't look like they came out and they were ready to take that game.
If the officiating is bad Friday, there's your proof.
There's your proof. But I think the Lakers didn't, to me, they didn't look like they were as sharp as they've been. They came out a little flat.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. They had their spurts here and there, but they weren't what they've been this whole series.
Right.
They kind of took a game off. We'll see tomorrow because that supporting cast around LeBron, and LeBron's just, and I'm not the biggest personal LeBron fan, but he's been amazing in this series. He's just absolutely, for his age and what he's doing, is ridiculous.
It's weird.
And he deserves the respect for that, and I give him that. But just the cast players, the role players around them have been unbelievable. And someone's always stepping up, whether it's Reeves, whether it's Schroeder, Hachimura, whoever it is. Those guys are all playing a role. And that's what championship teams have. They have those guys that all play those roles and they win. And that's what a lot of the other teams are missing. And I think as long as those guys show up tomorrow, even if you have a 60% AD, I think they're fine and they win that game.
Warriors are champions. They are last year's champions. They are previous year's champions.
Great.
They know how to handle things. And I don't think going to LA is a death nail for them by any means. The death nail is going to be Poole. The death nail is going to be Klay Thompson if he bricks again like he did again last night. First 4 shots, clunk, 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 clunk. He's just clunktastic. And he's doing that thing I've criticized him for years in the playoffs. Stat sheet don't mean a damn thing if you can't make it to the finals, man.
Just remember, there's 2 teams in the West that haven't lost a home game in the playoffs yet. It's the Lakers and it's Denver.
I just think when it comes to what the Warriors have, they don't need Klay to be great. Like, last night Klay was 25% from the field.
They might in LA.
Well, it depends because Ralph said the Lakers are a team. So are the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, they are.
Sometimes. Like the last night, the reason why the Warriors won, the reinforcements came for Steph. Klay didn't play well at all, but we had under control Jordan Poole. He didn't have to be great, but he was under control. And then you had Andrew Wiggins stepping up, I think, for the first time in this series in a really big way.
Yeah.
You had Draymond Green giving you 20 points, which is not something you normally get out of Draymond Green on a consistent basis, but he was able to find the scorer's touch that night. And I think that there are different players on this team. Their bench played better than the Lakers bench last night.
Yep.
There are players on this Warriors team that can step up and fill that void for what Klay Thompson maybe can or can't do. And then when you do get the bonus of having the great Klay Thompson game, you'll flatten people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that that's what the Warriors have needed this entire time. And they're starting to find that rhythm a little bit. And they're going to make this a series if they can get that again. That's really what it comes to.
Ralph thinks it's over when the Warriors head to LA. I do not believe so. You might be right. It could happen, but I feel like you're going to find yourself in a game 7. Absolutely. But like we said, the proof on the NBA tampering is going to be how bad the officiating is. Not how bad Ralph thinks the officiating is. Not how bad Donnie thinks the officiating is.
I don't complain about officiating.
It's how bad we actually see officiating.
Yeah.
I generally don't really give it a whole lot of mind. You just notice it when it's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't give the Suns a pass. Not every game has been, bad officiating. But when it is bad officiating, it's glaringly obvious.
I feel like that Suns Nuggets series so far has been very well officiated.
No complaints.
I have no complaints about the officiating over there. It's just the games that the Suns win, they really earned it. The games that the Nuggets win, they really earned it.
Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Sun Devil Raul says, zip to lopsy.
Yeah.
I think he might be sitting on his phone.
That's possible. I sure hope so.
But his first text.
Otherwise, I'm very, very concerned about his health.
Yeah, he said, hi, everyone. Hi, Jeffrey, Randy, Mr. Harmon Solar, K-Dog. Oh, that's a new thing. K-Dog.
That is a new
K-Dog.
thing.
Do you mind K-Dog?
I suppose I'll roll with it.
I don't know if I can call you K-Dog.
I don't feel like
Do you feel like a
it
K-Dog?
doesn't
Not
fit.
really with K-Dog.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I'm going to be nice today. The 1580 AM show is awesome. Is everyone as happy as me that DA is out? Go Suns. Yeah, that is the latest. If you have not heard, DeAndre Ayton is not going to play tonight. And, the reason is he got an owie on his ribs that nobody heard about until today. And it makes you wonder if it's made up. I'm wondering if he knows Monty. They were like, listen, rather than embarrass you, we're just going to say you have a hurt rib that you're not playing tonight. Or something like that.
No, first off, I don't think Monty actually likes DA, so I don't think he would even do that for him.
He wouldn't be that kind.
No. But secondly, no, it's not a made up thing because he was talking to the trainers about it in the last game when he took that shot and didn't follow the team down to help on offense.
See what happens when I barely try? Can you imagine how bad I'd hurt if I'd been trying?
So, yeah, but I'm just saying it's a real injury. He really did get hit in the ribs, and he was really talking to a trainer about it to try and see if there was anything he could kind of get to help the pain.
Faking
Come on,
it.
man.
So, why?
Walk it off, DeAndre Ayton.
He went out and played again. It
Walk
wasn't
it off,
man.
DeAndre Ayton.
Listen, you can pile on the guy for stuff that's legitimate, but if he actually does get hurt,
Come on.
then he.
I want to see pictures.
Did we see somebody hit him in the ribs? Come on.
Yes, he was literally hitting the ribs.
Who hit him in the
Who's
ribs?
the little girl? What's her
Who
name?
was it that hit him in the ribs?
I don't know. Let me go find the
Exactly.
play. The
That's
play.
my point exactly.
No, Randy, you talked about the video the other day where he was on
Body
the bench.
blow. Body
Yeah.
blow.
He was on
Knock
the
him
bench
out.
right
Yeah.
prior to him not going down with the team on
Yeah.
the offensive end.
Yeah.
He got hit in the ribs. I can't
Yeah.
remember who it was, but we all saw it. It was on TV.
Sun Devil
I
Raul
don't-
says his rib injury was real, just like Keon said. Yeah, but you were sitting on your phone. We can't take your word for
Look,
it.
here's my conspiracy theory. I think that he doesn't want to play for the Phoenix Suns. I think he knows he's going to get benched, and rather than be humiliated and embarrassed by being benched by
Yep.
Monty, he's so all of a sudden my ribs hurt. I can't take a deep breath. I think I have bruised ribs. I have bruised ribs. You're gonna have to bench me. Can I have a Tylenol? Somebody put a wrap on this, will you?
He is paid
Somebody
either
help me
way.
out, will you?
The
play.
thing is, DeAndre Ayton's had plenty of chances to fake injuries if he's wanted to. Dude's broken his fingers, taped them up, went out and played.
That's my point.
DeAndre Ayton will go through the motions. That's not the problem that you
That's
have.
good.
That's true.
That you have with him. The
Motions.
problem that you have with him is his effort.
It's the motion in the ocean.
I've never heard anybody say that dude fakes injuries, and I
I
don't.
did. I
and
said
I'm-
it a little bit.
I'm
ago.
saying it right now.
Randy
Okay,
was
I've
saying
never
it, too.
said anybody close
said
to
it
him
right
that
now.
actually has an opinion.
Well, nobody
that,
close to him would say that.
No.
Which is weird.
that's
I'll be
based
outside of
on
his,
the actual information of
Wingspan.
knowing
How
him.
long's his wingspan? I
So
want to
let's-
stay outside
let's-
of that.
we don't-
Monty will say it.
we
When I
don't
call him a
we don't-
cupcake.
we don't have to go to the levels of making up in our minds and imaginations what DeAndre Ayton is thinking
Oh my
to
rib.
be
Oh,
to be
oh my god.
to
Oh.
be to be
Oh, my
justified
anus. Oh,
to
my
be-
anus. Oh, my
to-
anus.
to
I can't
be-
continue the show.
to be
Oh.
to be justified in saying the dude does not deserve to be here anymore.
You know what he's
This
probably got?
offseason he needs to be gone.
He's probably got court toe.
Court toe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably got court
There's a
toe.
lot of that going
Sure.
around.
Let's
Does it really matter?
Oh my toe.
He sucks. I mean, he's not a good
that,
player. He's
thank
frustrating
you, Ralph.
thing is-
Ralph, that's what I'm trying to focus.
The
I'm trying to focus
frustration-
on right now.
The
The dude
frustration
sucks.
is,
Why are we
Ralph,
talking
Right.
about an injury?
Why-
We don't
exactly.
know.
He doesn't have to suck.
no,
That's
but
what's
he's but
frustrating.
the
But
point
he
is,
is-
he sucks.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he can be injured and still suck. The injury can be real and he still sucks.
and yes-
so let's focus on the thing we know is
I
true.
just think it's fun to say
He
it's fake.
sucks.
I mean, yesterday when I said
Why?
when
Why
I said
not?
Mark Madsen
Okay.
and Chuck Nevitt,
all right.
you need to look those guys up. Mark Madsen and Chuck Nevitt are from the 80s for the Lakers. They were bench players. And that's what I was saying. That's about what he's worth. Two guys that used to play in the 80s. He sucks. He's not good.
It's,
Nobody wants him. I'm sure someone will take him, but they're not going to get anything for him.
the talent
So-
the talent is there.
Yeah,
but as
that's
long
what's
as
frustrating.
He's weak.
as long as the effort isn't, dude stinks. And I just don't think we need to talk about any of the other. Like we're just distracting the issue, which is DeAndre's biggest
At what
problem.
point did you take this so seriously you thought it was a real show? Did you forget what show you're on right now?
No, I didn't forget, but I think that we can have fun and not like make up stuff that
No,
other
I'm-
people are thinking.
I'm
Look, I take this seriously every day because this is all I got, man. I don't know what to tell you. I like being on radio. This is the thing I do.
Well, you probably got to
This
take about 30%
I-
off that right there.
I
I got a
I
grind
can't-
pull.
I
Oh, wait, it's my
can't.
rib. Never mind.
you can't bring me in and be like, yeah, you watched to be our sports expert, but also don't take it seriously. Like
You need to
I'm sorry.
You need to
Pick-
rethink. You need to
Keon,
rethink
thing-
things, man.
Don't take us seriously. That's the point.
I can't help
You're going
it.
to have an ulcer in no time.
I already halfway there.
888-368-1580 because we ain't changing. Cardinal
I
Art
didn't ask you to though.
says, Randy, beer me 2 times, please.
Beat you 2 times.
Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. Sweet monkey meat.
Yeah.
Ralph's on the show.
Yeah.
Sweet monkey.
Yeah, that's the thing we're trying to start. I'm trying to start a thing and get sweet monkey meat as an exclamation into the lexicon.
When I was in
Ralph's face
I-
when you said it's a thing we're trying to start.
Yeah,
on my Twitter,
it's already working.
at Radio Randy 777. I
Sweet
don't know if you've
monkey
gone there.
meat.
Yeah, I was in a
I'm not
beverage
sure how
store
I
today.
feel about that.
Like
And
Great
I-
Scott. or
Sweet monkey meat. Do you see the price on this whiskey?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel.
Well,
I-
you're a Laker fan. I don't expect you to feel
No,
any
I'm just,
kind of way
you know,
about it.
Being an educated individual, that's just a tough.
I didn't know what skepticism on a person's
It's
face
fun.
looked like until I saw Ralph's face just
Sweet
now.
monkey.
It's one of those things I just like to see if we can get it started. That's all. I mean, if you got a better one, I'm open.
Keon, if this is all you've got, you need to rethink things.
We've been telling him that.
That's all
for
I'm going to say.
Quite some time.
I mean,
It's time to
I
rethink
used
things.
all the money I had to move out here. Look,
We
it's
need some.
just-
We need some installers if you want to come get a job and make some more money.
I encourage you to look into that.
You know, I guarantee you'll make 4 times what you're making now.
Oh,
Like,
geez.
we haven't been anything different than we have been
The entire
before you got here, since you've been here, and long after you go.
Yeah, the only thing about
have I-
working with Ralph, you
have
work
I-
on the roof of houses in the middle of summer when it's 198 degrees on
At
the
6
roof.
a.m. in the morning. Don't worry.
Let me just encourage you, Keon, that whatever happens, don't fake an injury like DeAndre Ayton is. Whatever. If you go to work for a Harmon Solar, make sure don't be like DeAndre Ayton,
Uh-huh.
faking injuries. Okay.
question. I'll see what I can do.
Don't pretend like you got nauseous or something. That's fine.
Yeah, don't do that either. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NBA tonight, a pair of game sixes as the Philadelphia 76ers take on the Boston Celtics, with Boston trailing 3-2 after Philadelphia took game 5 Tuesday in Boston. But the Celtics, with their backs to the wall, are a 2.5-point road favorite, minus 138 on the money line. Philadelphia plus 118, the over-under to 12.5. The Denver Nuggets can close out the Phoenix Suns tonight in Arizona, but the home team has won every game so far in this series. Denver up 3-2, winning game 5 on Tuesday in the Mile High City. Phoenix a 2-point home favorite, the over-under 225.5.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you. So your water stays soft, and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with the free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted.
Let's go. Practice time.
Summer means mini camps, OTAs. Then it's on to preseason. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news when you need to know about the NFL offseason. Remember, if it's the NFL, we talk about it. Your home for NFL news, games, playoffs, and Super Bowl in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Stable Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. is the NFL schedule release show brought to you by Westwood One here on the radio station. So I really honestly don't know how this happens. I don't know if they're just going to read off every game that every team plays against everybody.
Well,
I'm really not.
And then they're going to give you,
seeing it,
kind of schedule predictions.
That's 32 teams. They almost take more than 2 hours.
I think the schedule actually drops at about 5 o'clock our time, right? I mean, the whole thing, you can go to NFL.com or your favorite team's website and you can see your schedule already.
Yeah. We're just doing this because I was trying to get some more time off, but then Ron headed off the pass and says, "Nope, we're airing that crap at 7." So that's the end of that idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're not required to listen. I'll be like Charles Barkley. There's better things to watch tonight. Of course.
Yeah.
There's of course better things to watch tonight. And shut up, Ralph. You know damn well what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. What's on?
The
Ralph's going to be busy. He's going to be checking the Rams and Seahawks schedules today.
I'm going to watch Little People, Big World. That's probably better than the schedule, at least.
Little People, Big World. What's that?
It's a show about little people.
Like midgets?
I can't say that word. M word. The M word's bad.
Yeah.
Who
Keep
says,
trying to tell you, Jeffrey.
Says who?
Says society.
And also
Society, yeah.
little people mostly.
Yeah.
They don't like to be called the M word.
Keep trying to tell you, Jeffrey.
Generally don't like to be called that.
Just don't listen
I
to
feel
me.
like there's worse things to be called than that.
Oh, I know there is.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that they want to be called that too.
Yeah.
So, all right, can I call them snack size?
No.
just you know,
Snack size.
snack size. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
There's some good there, I think. I can go places with that, but I'm not going.
Well, okay. Who's worse? Who's worse? The guy who calls them midget, or the guy who's like sitting down with a bowl of popcorn, just watching their lives like they're like little critters in a zoo?
Well, they're fun to watch run and stuff. I just
Wow. Yeah. So I
Fun
think
to watch run.
way to answer that question immediately.
I
You're
just
the
want to
Fred
say
Flintstone.
it's been fun being on the radio with you guys. When we get canceled, I've already said my goodbyes to you.
I think the protests are going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even care if we get fired. I just want to see the protests.
I just said that.
You know, you probably won't see the signs from behind the cars, but
No.
still, you know.
I honestly like watching it because they have different challenges in life, and it's just cool to see how people get through those things. That's all. That's why I watch it.
All right. Well, I'll be watching the Phoenix Suns tonight on the. Unfortunately, it's on the ESPN. But the Denver Nuggets coming to town to try to win this whole thing against the Phoenix Suns tonight, and it is the epitome of the must win. The Lakers don't have a must win tomorrow. They've got 2 games that they can try to win. But the Phoenix Suns, everything from here out is a must win. Pretty confident the Suns can take care of business here in the Valley of the Sun. But this whole home game, away game thing, it's been exact. So the Suns have got to figure out how to play and win in Denver. And I'm not going to give it to you for altitude. I don't think that's a thing. It has an effect on you at first, but I don't think that's a thing.
If you win this game, if you get 7 games into a series and haven't figured out the altitude yet, you just deserve to lose the series. Like that's just where we're at.
And I
You
always
haven't
say about
figured it out. What does that mean?
Yeah, figured out how to acclimate yourself.
Right.
Like you
Oh.
said the other day, the Suns left early and made sure they got there.
Yeah,
So they
little
can spend-
tips, little things.
like the
gonna
things, the
say.
little things that you can do to make sure that you're not killed by having to run in that
we
thin
keep
air.
talking about the little things, and Ralph is like, "Oh yeah, I got to set my DVR for my little,
Stand by. Let me
little
get on my
show that
phone
I'm going to
and
watch over here."
Set that on my direct TV.
I'm going to send you a link.
I'm actually,
It's a tiny link.
I'm a little
It's
stunned.
a-
Nowhere in
Oh,
this procession
damn,
of
see?
jokes.
I
was
think
there a
Kyler
joke about
Murray is
Kyler-
actually going to get
There
started.
it is. Never
There
mind.
it is.
They're
I
coming.
knew that was going to happen.
I
The
was-
Kyler Murray jokes are lining up on the text
He's a
line right
giant in that show. He's a
Yeah,
giant.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
now. I bet he watches it just to feel tall.
Oh
does.
no.
Oh boy.
888-368-1580. Brooks Kepka says, "How do little people cut their pizza?" Little
forks.
Caesars.
Yeah, Little Caesars.
Little
There you go.
Caesars.
Little knives.
Big George says, "Will Ferrell called them angry little elves in the movie Elf."
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they-
because
they-
he thought he was an elf. Though.
And they were playing elves
Yeah.
in the movie. So
Average Joe says, "Does Ralph use human suitcases when he travels? A human suitcase is a thing when a midget on a roller skate wears all your clothes and then you just pull them through the airport."
Wow. Jeez, that's horrible.
It's a 5-minute major right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
That's
to
a
say 5.
10-minute game misconduct.
5 for Average Joe on that at least.
and that is not counting breaks. You get
Yeah.
all 5 of those
That's a
minutes,
5-minute
man.
major.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hook'em Hottie's logged in and says, "How about just call him Kyler size?" See, there you go. There's your Kyler Murray
there
right
it is.
there.
There it is.
Sun Devil Raul says, Zach.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's sitting on his phone again.
Mm.
CK says, "Good afternoon, fellas. Randy, beer me." Surprise, surprise. Ralph talking nonsense that only he believes. Keandre Ayton Rose defending the mental midget. And then there's Randy and Jeffrey.
So
Thank you.
Can I say something?
Well, there's probably no stopping you.
You could.
Who's the guy that came on this show when the playoffs started that said the Lakers would go 3 deep into the series?
That was me.
That was me.
That was me.
And you all laughed.
Nobody laughed.
And they're one win away from that happening.
We've never laughed at the thing
So
you said. You've
Ralph's
never been funny.
nonsense is one win away from being true.
And
you guys are one game away from being at home watching the Lakers.
I've said it all along.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but I distinctly recall you asking me to be an impartial observer and say whether or not it was possible. And I did say it was possible.
I still feel like this series is going to go 7 games.
And Darvin Ham just announced through ESPN that AD is not in concussion protocol, and they got good news from medical staff that he was good for tomorrow.
Darvin Ham, we all know he's a heavy drinker.
Yeah, he's a heavy drinker. He's a gambler and a liar.
Yeah.
Just horrible human being. Let's get back to the Phoenix Suns here. So in Phoenix, no DeAndre Ayton, no Chris Paul. That's been said that he ain't going to play.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happening, whether or not DeAndre Ayton will or will not, but I'm pretty sure he won't. And if he does, do we want him to? I think a lot of people are saying, hey, maybe we're just better off leaving him out of this and try to get some people out there who want to play and win.
Yes.
So
that's the side where I'm at. And look, the numbers are not on DeAndre's side on this. So here's the numbers on the Suns when DeAndre is on the bench versus when he's on the court. When the Suns have been outscored by 2.5 points per 100 possessions with DeAndre Ayton on the court. Not great. But with Ayton off the court, the Suns have outscored opponents by 7.3 points per 100
other
possessions.
People playing swarming, annoying defense. It doesn't completely stop Jokic, but it does slow things down and make a difference. And
It's that
you've seen
Landale
it.
guy. Is that his name?
Oh, Landale. Yeah, the
Jack Landale.
I start him. At least that guy out. He's busting his butt out there.
Mr. Mullet at least makes the effort.
I don't care if he scores a point or not. Just
Spurs
having
didn't
him on
bring
the
that
floor
guy
with
back.
that energy.
And that was a mistake for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Last Optimist says Lakers are running to Miami right now to find the same doctor who cleared Tua. Yeah, I think they did. Wilbur says the NBA would love Game 7s on Sunday. Of course they would. Of course they would. He said, and by the way, Wilbur says, so there's a pretty good chance that Jeffrey and Randy would be good next door neighbors. But can you imagine if Ralph lived right next door or across the street? How would that work?
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. I think here's what would be a perfect neighborhood. Randy and I on one side, Ralph and Keon on the other. And I think we probably all just pick on Keon quite a bit.
Why are me and Keon on the other side? Is it because we're the minorities?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the majority of us are Suns fans and, Arizona like Coyote fans and stuff like that. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay. How are you a minority?
I'm Italian. My dad came over on a boat.
And that makes you a minority?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably had a first pass ticket. Yeah. Pinocchio says, can the Suns be fined for falsifying an injury report? They have Ayton questionable with a rib. We all know it is his questionable heart. That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, nobody would do. I don't think anybody would really legitimately fake an injury. So
I have no doubt he got punched in the ribs. He got an elbow in the ribs or whatever. I have no doubt that happened.
Yeah, but can you get in trouble for saying somebody's hurt?
I would imagine yes, absolutely. But I feel like DeAndre Ayton just does not have the motivation.
Right.
He does not have the will to go out there and play through the pain. And we're talking about people that go out there with broken fingers, torn ACLs,
concussions,
torn groins and hammies and things that are out there playing because they have a motivation to go out and win. DeAndre Ayton does not have that.
I kind of want you guys across the street because if you guys lived on the other outsides of us, then we can all fight and like have Nerf gun wars and stuff. But if there's two across the street,
so
two over here,
Ralph and Keon were across the street from us.
Yeah, I think that would make for
I still want that pass through gate though.
Well, we would have a paintball cannon. We could get a paintball cannon and just start shooting it.
I'll mount a 50 caliber paint gun cannon on the top of my truck. I'll
get it from both sides.
And, we'll have solar and we'll save money. You guys will not.
Well,
I'll
we will
get
not
solar.
install it on your house.
Well, then I'll get it from your competitor.
Nope,
It won't be as good, but I'll have it.
It'll take our slingshots and we'll break all your solar panels. What do
you know what I'll do? Here's my threat. if you don't put solar on my house, Ralph, I'm going to have some crap company put solar, but I'm going to put a sticker of Harmon Solar on it. So everybody's like, oh my God, that's horrible. I know how to get things done.
That is a threat there. Yeah.
Silver Pops says, good afternoon, guys. Make fun of Ayton's rib injury. At least he was taken away he wasn't taken away in a wheelchair like Anthony Davis.
Well,
you really want to compare that?
What is with the wheelchair thing? You're just dizzy, so you don't want a
Yeah.
7-foot man falling on you while you're trying to lead him to the
Or worse, just falling on his own while he's trying to walk. I mean,
And that guy will
that's
play
another
tomorrow.
injury.
I think it's falling on you.
I would probably make the effort, to make it look good. But as soon as he started to go down, my ass, I'm like probably about 12 feet away.
Part of the thing too with the wheelchair was they tried to help him save some face. He walked into the tunnel and then they tried to get him the wheelchair there. And then Chris Haynes did his sideline report and was like, yeah, there's AD over there in the wheelchair, and just ruined the whole thing. And so now everybody's making fun of AD in the wheelchair.
Chris Haynes is a bastard after all. I mean,
it's like, man, the guy is dizzy and he can't walk straight.
Jeffrey, who's Chris Haynes again?
He's the guy who makes underwear.
Oh,
no, he's a reporter. He's a sideline reporter on the TNT, and he's also beat reporter for Yahoo Sports.
Who also makes underwear.
He does not make underwear. No.
How do you know that?
Pretty sure.
I would like you to prove that. You think you know everything. He makes underwear and he does the sideline reporting. I've enjoyed his work.
Chris Haynes makes underwear, does he?
I enjoy all his work.
Haynes spelled with a Y makes underwear.
You know what? That's how you keep him guessing. Straight Striper says, hey, Ralph, want to make another bet on Lakers Golden State series? Name your stakes if you're interested. He's never even paid up the Whistle Pig from before. He ain't going to make another bet with you.
Whistle Pig.
Yeah, Ralph was supposed to give us the Whistle Pig that he was supposed to give Straight Striper. We ain't seen it yet.
You still haven't given me my bottle.
Your bottle.
I got tons here. Just show up at the station. I can hand you a bottle right now. Kiss the Cook says Ayton's out due to a rib injury. What the hell did he do? Chip his tooth? Bit a hole in his lip? Well, sweet monkey meat. I don't know if sweet monkey meat fits there.
That does not work there. No.
Yeah. Now, if you would have put it before sweet monkey meat, Ayton's out.
It's an exclamation.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle says Taco Tuesday, Fajita Friday, Thirsty Thursday. Yes, you are correct. Let's see. George says Keon. Will Ferrell said, okay, we're not gonna get bogged down in the actual script of Elf, George.
I've seen the movie once a million years ago. I don't remember what Will Ferrell said.
Sun Devil Raoul says, who are our big men tonight after Bismack Biyombo and Jacques Landale? Bismack Biyombo and Jacques Landale. I think there is no one else.
I do think that they went out and signed Aaron Baines to just try and.
I think they tried to get Alvin Adams to suit up tonight.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Fifth letter says no one had energy like Mark Mad Dog Madsen.
That's right. He was amazing.
Blissful Hayes says Ayton has spare ribs. Oh, now I'm hungry for spare ribs.
Yeah.
CK says perfect example, sir. Italians are not minorities. Suck it, Ralph.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
I don't think considered any more just because
we're a minority population in this country.
So are the Irish.
So you're a minority. Good for you.
All right. Well, then don't give me crap.
You're just
about
very
you being
bright
across.
white, though. It's very different.
Yeah,
We have olive skin.
I can blend.
Ralph, you have a lot of things. Olive skin isn't one of them. I've seen you in person.
I've bleached it a little bit.
I bleached.
You got a little bit of that. Hook'em Hottie says an Italian and an Irishman should be separated anyway, right? Yeah, across the street, it's probably good. It's probably good. I'm not saying not in the neighborhood. I mean, granted, I could afford to live in a better neighborhood than this. Waldo says NHL players routinely finish entire playoff runs with cracked ribs, punctured lungs, broken feet. I'll never understand how NBA players get carted off a court with a hamstring pull. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That's pretty rough.
I don't know. Have you ever had a hamstring pull?
I have. A bad one. And
I couldn't get out of my car the last time I pulled my hamstring. I just couldn't stand up.
Well, I guess I'm more of a man because I ripped a hamstring and was able to at least hobble.
I couldn't. Now, part of it probably too is that my knees are screwed, so there was just nothing to help my legs move. But still, I couldn't stand. Just I tried. It wasn't like, oh, I'm in so much pain I can't move. It's literally the muscle just wouldn't.
Oh, it hurts.
Bruno Baller says, if you were all neighbors, would you have holiday decorating wars?
Probably.
Hell yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, we would.
No?
I don't have that sort of
I would.
motivation.
Me and
I'll
Randy
dec-
would do it.
I'll decorate your house.
All right, fine. That's good. You do what you want on our side of the street.
All right.
I'm not interested. CK wants us all to know that we are white.
Thank
One
you.
of these things
Yeah.
is not like the Sun Devil Arul says. You joke about the great AA NBA Rookie of the Year, but current assistant coach Mark Bryant could help. What is this guy talking about?
What are we talking
I don't
Who's
know.
the NBA AA?
He says maybe they could sign Mark Bryant to go in there for 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Boomer Sooner says, I tore mine running the high hurdles.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could see that.
Nate.
And look, it takes a special breed of person to be a hockey player. Like expecting every athlete to be tough like those guys, it's not even fair.
And
there's barriers to hockey that you get knocked out of very early if you can't hang.
I'm just saying, you should sort of stand here wondering, well, how the hell does the show get this weird today?
Because I'm here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll try to talk some actual basketball about the Phoenix Suns. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Today on Hey Culligan, Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey, Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And Sun Devil Raul says Alvin Adams won Rookie of the Year. That's the AA. CK says, don't mind Keon Jeffrey. A pulled hammy to a millennial is equivalent to a severed leg.
No, I ran track, man. I just pulled my hamstring and couldn't.
You know, having had a hamstring tear, that when you play that sound effect, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real thing. And, you know, it was a nagging injury for me for a couple of years. And it would sort of pop up while I was driving.
and it would just start to hurt there, and I'd have to kind of just shift my body weight off of my right leg a bit.
You guys ever driving along and all of a sudden you get like a cramp in your hamstring or your calf?
Yeah, definitely.
And you're like, oh no.
No, I get that usually when I'm sleeping. That doesn't happen when I'm driving. Thank God for that. You ever drive around and you just like suddenly just have an erection? What? Just me?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you drive a stick shift?
That just shows you I miss it. 888-368-1580. I'm kidding. As far as you know. All right. So let's take a look at the numbers for tonight's game. Betting wise, anybody going to bet tonight? It's a 2.5-point spread between the Nuggets and the Suns. The Suns are favored because they're at home. So the money line is tight, plus 118 for the Nuggets, minus 140 for the Suns. The over-under is 226. So, all right, we'll let the hater go first. Ralph, how would you bet this? Would you go money line? Would you go spread? Would you go over-under?
So, I would take the Nuggets to win this game. I really do. I don't want them to win this game. I want it to go 7 because it's better for the Lakers, but I really think that they just have too much. I think they're going to win this game. I'd probably go over. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think the Nuggets are really going to go off in this game. I mean, the way it says Jokic, I mean, is he the most unathletic working person you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah, he looks like a guy who just got done changing somebody's oil. And there's like, you want the game? I play game.
He looks like me at 55. I mean, he should have a Big Mac in one hand and a basketball in the other. He just doesn't look. He looks out of shape.
Sort
and
of
horrible.
Sort of sunken eyes.
No,
the little tip of heart disease about to show up there.
He's the dad bod god,
which is crazy.
But he's amazing.
He's actually dropped weight since he's been in the league. He was pudgier when he got there, and he was like, okay, I can't be this weight and play. And he lost like 17 pounds or something like that. And this is him in shape.
Yeah. I think this is a blow. I think this is a blowout tonight. I really do. I think this is like a 125, 105 game. I'm telling you.
I should have never let you go first.
I'm not doing this out of hate. I want
feel like you're doing this out of hate.
Suns to win tonight. I really do. I want it to go 7. It's better for the Lakers if that happens, but I just don't think it will be. It's like a 125, 105 game.
I get the idea. You think it's going to matter that whoever finishes this series, whether it's the Suns or the Nuggets, because I know you think it's the Nuggets, you just think, I want them tired.
Well, I don't want them to go home tonight and just be able to sit there and wait for whoever wins the Lakers series. I mean,
your guys are going to be exhausted either way.
They've been exhausted since the first round. I don't think it matters.
All right. So now the hater is done. Keon, how do you want to bet this?
I would go Suns. I just think that the home teams in this series have played exceptionally well. Booker and Durant have played better at home. The role players have played better at home. The bench has played better.
The Suns have been improving. Outside of DeAndre Ayton.
And I also think that without Ayton, there's going to probably be an effective addition by subtraction. Just
there is one thing you have to be careful of. Landale, they're going to have to say, listen, we want you to be as aggressive as you can, but maybe pull off a little bit and try not to. He fouls pretty quick, and he can get into foul trouble pretty quick.
And I think that's where you're going to use Landale and Busy in that role. I don't think that you're going to leave Landale out there for 40 minutes. That would be insane. But he can give you 20, 25 solid minutes, and then you can get some more out of Busy. I think that probably helps that as well. So obviously you want him to pull back, but the fouling is kind of a thing that affects Jokic too. He just beating him up, constantly being physical. That was something in that game 5 that was absolutely disappointing, which is that the Nuggets came out and even said it in the post game. They knew that if they were physical, they were going to be able to win that game. And then Monty said, they were more physical than us. Well, that can't happen. But the Suns play better at home. They don't really get pushed around in that same way in their house. I can't promise you they'll win the series, but I feel pretty good about them tonight.
Well, which way I think you forgot my original question. How would you bet this?
I said the Suns was the start of what I said. I would bet the Suns.
No, I mean over under money line or
okay.
spread?
Well, you asked Ralph, and Ralph didn't answer that question at all. So I just thought we were asking our picks. Okay, my bad.
Why you got to come at me like that?
No, I just didn't hear you say it. I just
Keon's got his horns out today.
He's going to fight everyone.
Wow,
that's cool.
He's like my uncle in his underwear in the front yard on Thanksgiving. He's
Wow.
just going to go after everybody.
I just didn't hear him answer the
Come
question.
at me, bro.
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
Okay, well, no, I was waiting for my turn to speak. So
someone's in a snit.
Well, every time I say something, it's like pile on Keon. So I'm trying here.
Come on.
Are you going to quit on air?
No, I'm not going to quit. I'll be.
We've already had that happen one time.
I'll be okay.
It's not pretty.
There's no repeat of that happening. I'm just telling you what the situation is.
It cracks me up every time.
The headphones you have are your own.
They are mine. Yes, I did buy them. So I'll take the over in the game because I do think that you do lose some form of defense when you're deciding to go Landale busy, because that is you're basically committing to a full court transitional game of basketball. I don't think that you're doing nearly as much half courting as you want to. And I think that helps the Suns offensively. I think that's good for them against the Nuggets, but I don't know that that's going to be great for them defensively and stopping Jokic. So I'm going to take the over on that. And then I would take the Suns money line.
I'm going to disagree on the over under there. Or at least on your thought processes about the defense. I think with Landale, I don't know about Bismack Biyombo, but Landale is, like we said earlier, he frustrates Jokic. Doesn't stop him.
Nothing
he
really
frustrates him. And he tires him out, and he slows him down. Well, the slowing you down part is part of keeping that from being over and more likely to be under. I don't think you stop Jokic. I think you slow him down. I think you do what Landale has done before, and the rest of the team. Monty is slow to get things going, but he has been moving around the pieces more, and you see the point totals for the bench improving. And if it's not the point totals, then it's the defense. So. I'm just going to disagree with it. I don't know if I want to say under on 226.
Every time the Suns win, it feels like they hit that over. So especially when they rely on Landale more, because even though he frustrates Jokic, he's a smaller body against Jokic. So Jokic just rises up and shoots over him. That's why I just think that Landale frustrating him doesn't necessarily mean that you stop him. I think that what you do is you wear him out so that he's even more useless as a defender.
I'm gonna go ahead and say now I've thought about it over, but I disagree with you on that defensive issue, the way you placed it, Randy.
Let me tell you what's going to happen, guys. I have it all figured out right now.
Okay, we should have started with you, Randy.
Without DeAndre Ayton coming into the game, there's going to be a new energy on the court. Jock Landale is going to go out there. He's going to do his best to just kind of get in the way. He's not going to foul. What they're going to do is let Jokic score as much as he wants. He can score 75 points tonight. Doesn't matter. They're going to shut down the rest of the team. And I expect that Book and KD will shoot the absolute eyes out of the net. They're just going to be on fire. And I would look for them to be scoring high tonight. And I would look for them to shut down, the rest of the Nugget team. This is going to be a physical game. Jokic is going to go in there, elbows swinging. He's going to try to rough up Jock Landale. They're going to let that happen, and the Suns will win. I think it's going to be over tonight. Give me the Phoenix Suns to win tonight and go back to Denver.
Can I disagree with something that Randy said just
No,
briefly?
you can't.
No. Wow. I think you better just let it. You better let him talk, Randy.
Of course.
Strong opinion.
He's in a mood today.
Go ahead,
I'm
Jim.
really not in a mood. I don't know why you keep saying that, but basically,
it's just me.
Okay. I just think that letting Jokic score as much as he wants is probably not the best strategy, because Jamal Murray has scored. He's averaged more in Phoenix than he has in Denver.
Murray is out tonight.
Oh, he's out.
At least he was questionable with an illness. This is actually something that just broke a little bit ago. He's on the injury report as questionable. It's a non-COVID illness. Some people are saying that he is out. Some people are saying he is questionable. So that is,
I don't know.
If he ain't feeling great, then it's either his flu game or this bodes well for the Phoenix Suns.
I mean, obviously, he's the second best player on the team. Some nights, the best player.
He is.
Big George, why is Keon so feisty and angry? I don't know what triggers him. I'm not sure.
I'm not. Okay.
Radio Ron says, Keon speaketh the truth. Sometimes. Sun Devil Raul says, Alex Len, 6'11" dude from Serbia. Good rebounder. That's a good point. Yeah, we got to start finding somebody else,
all right,
to get rid of Ayton, I think. All right, we'll be back for hour 2 after this. Daily Blender, 1580, The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it,
That sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
8 presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after Throne Rider. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked off.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, ABA, and this station.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Ralph from Harmon Solar wearing the only acceptable Dodgers hat I've ever seen. Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. In a little bit here, we're about to have another matchup between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Starts at 4:30 p.m. And that's been an interesting series right now. And for all the people who start to think the NBA might be rigged, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. I ain't saying it's happening, but all the signs are there.
I don't think so. These have all been really good series. They look like if all the guys in the series were healthy, they were going to be really good series. Started off with injured Embiid, but he came back. You know, that Heat Knicks series started off with injured Jimmy Butler, but he came back. And those guys changed the series. The officiating has been really good for the most part across the board. So I don't think this is an NBA influenced thing just because the officiating has been so good. And these are pretty close teams.
I know. I just like to start crap with Randy. So Anthony Davis just has said he's feeling great and should play in Game 6.
Here's actual audio. I feel really good. I probably play.
Ball.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so pop.
Hate on greatness. That's fine.
No, I'm not hating on Anthony. Where's this hating stuff coming from? Ain't no hate.
That was
Ain't no
actual
hate.
audio.
How's
What are you
that
talking
hate?
about, Ralph?
The hateful blender.
Ain't no hate. Burning hell Lakers. I mean, I know how you might think that sounds hateful. But
Yeah.
It
But
sounds hateful.
it's
but
all
not.
in love.
It's love. I
Yeah,
know.
it's
love.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So here in a little bit, Philadelphia is hosting the Celtics, and is everybody healthy now with this matchup? Is everybody ready to go on this? Is this? I mean, Boston lost at home in surprisingly bad fashion. So are you expecting the 76ers to turn around and just lose at home too? I feel like that they're going to 76ers probably wrap this up tonight, right?
I mean, they're heavily motivated to. They've got Joel Embiid. If they can end this series, they have an interesting opportunity to maybe rest him, get him as close to healed up as they can get him. I mean, he is still playing with a sprained LCL, so that's problem number
There's
one.
a lot of CLs. There's MCLs, ACLs. Now you just came at me with an LCL.
UCL.
Hell's an LCL?
They're one of the other
It's the
ligaments in your knee.
It's the CL that starts with an L. I got it.
I mean, don't ask me what it
No,
does.
lateral.
There you go.
There you go.
So
UCL.
He's got and I think the UCL's in your elbow. But
I got an FCL.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to
DCL?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
You don't want to know.
I'll just keep that to myself then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think that the Sixers are going to be motivated to. But really, I just think it comes down to what the Celtics do. I think the Celtics have the better team, but they have such a live by the three, die by the three mentality now with their new coach that I don't know which Celtics team is going to show up. If they're not making shots, that they're done.
So they're warming up right now. Has anybody seen what Harden was wearing when he showed up? That might make a difference. When he wears funkified clothing, suddenly he gets good.
I mean, clothes where if you lose, that's going to be a meme.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to win those games.
Well, I'd be putting him in all sorts of felt. I mean, just to get it done. Hey, he was wearing some little Cookie Monster looking outfit that one game. He went crazy on that.
And in game one, he had these giant bell bottom overall things that he was wearing. I don't know what's going on there.
Like tonight, he'll probably come in with some bell bottom jeans and clown shoes.
Well, he's already there, so I need.
What did he wear?
How can you bet this until you've seen what he's worn?
Those big, giant, oversized sunglasses and that cowboy hat, that foam cowboy hat. I'm pretty sure that's what James Harden was wearing tonight.
Beer Bob says, this is why I think there should be reseeding in the NBA. I think the Suns would have matched up better against the Warriors and would have loved to have seen the Fakers get their butt kicked by them chicken McNuggets. Well, see, that's why I don't want seeding, because it shouldn't be who am I matching up best against. It should just be who am I supposed to play next, and that's the fight. That's the whole point of it. I don't want to match up better. I just want to beat everybody.
Boo-hoo.
The track you're on is the track you're on. I don't want that in the NBA. Does it work in other sports? Sure, but this is not. Every sport doesn't have to be the same, and reseeding doesn't have to be a thing in the NBA. The NBA doesn't have a problem clearly because you have all 4 series left at 3-2.
And Denver's a better matchup for the Lakers. The Lakers are the worst transition defensive team in the league.
You talk about conspiracy theorists like myself
Yes.
with the NBA. When you start putting this reseeding in there, are you kidding me? There'll be people way more crazy than me coming out of the woodwork talking about how the NBA is controlling the playoffs.
Yep, that's a good point. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Thirsty Thursday, fellas. I'll take an 805, please, Randy. Go Lakers, go USC, Ralph. Suns an 8. Hey, how about Bronny going over to your USC there, Ralph?
I love it. I think it's a great move, and there's other guys that now want to go there because of it. SC's going to be a powerhouse next
Do you
year.
see that Dennis Rodman's son wants to go there?
Yeah,
he did. He actually transferred already.
Oh, he made the transfer?
SC's going to have a powerhouse next year in basketball.
Well, about that. So listen, Bronny is going to be a great player. Bronny has a great teacher. Bronny has his own style of play. But as it stands at this moment, he is not his father. Do not expect outcome same as his father. So he's a pretty good player. And then if you actually sort of forget the name, are you maybe seeing out there some better guys coming down the pipe? You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets enamored by the LeBron's kid part, but on his own, yeah, he's a pretty good player. He's got a lot of upside, but he's not the best high school player coming into college next year.
Wonder what color Dennis Rodman's kid's hair
He's
is.
definitely one of the best coming out.
Okay, so is he actually one of the best?
I would think Keon can step in, but I had read that he was top 5.
Okay, fair enough. And then you have to also say, is he top 5 because of his last name? Is he maybe more like top 10, top 15? But either way, should be good for USC.
It's a valid point. SC does a great job recruiting as it does. They have a great head coach. I mean, it's a good program. He's just
won a lot of titles.
No, they have. That's been the miss, right? So, I mean, I think bringing Bronny over, bringing the young Rodman over, more people want to come over. I mean, you can see what's happening with USC football can start happening with USC basketball. We'll see.
And in the same class, the guy that's kind of getting overlooked, Isaiah Collier, is the number 1 ranked player
with a French name. It's tough.
And he's also going to USC.
Yeah,
so
he's coming to USC too. They could have a heck of a team next year.
Hamilton Porter says, powerhouse USC about to get their asses kicked in the Big Ten. Bruno Baller says, what year does USC and UCLA join the Big Ten?
Not next year, the year after.
Yeah, 20.
I
thought it was 24.
This is their last year in the pack.
Yeah, so 24.
This is 23-24, Randy. So it's next year.
So 24-25.
Okay.
I get confused by that too. 888-368-1580. So we got a Suns game tonight. Gonna be driving home as fast as I can to see this game.
Take your time.
And Ralph, you're just such a hater. You're just such a hater. Such a hater. And who knows what's going to happen by the time we get there with Jamal Murray, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul for sure. They were showing him shooting around. He looked fine, but I wonder if maybe he's just sort of laying off just because he knows that this is not his game. I don't know. I know that it's going to be on the ESPN tonight, which I told my wife that, and she went, "Oh," because she really enjoys Charles Barkley and Shaq and Eddie and Kenny and all that. It's a fun show to watch, and but ESPN is the opposite.
Every now and then they do this swap where ESPN had the hockey, TNT had the basketball, and then they switch. So tonight TNT actually has the NHL, and ESPN has the NBA. TNT is better at the NBA, and this is also their first year doing the NHL. So there's been some rough patches with the TNT broadcast to me with some of the hockey games. So they each do the sport they're currently doing tonight worse. They should just trade back.
Okay, I will say this. Let me throw in here now. Speaking of ESPN and announcers.
Yes, sir.
Were you aware that Chris Fowler is replacing old Smuckety Smuck? What's his name?
Steve Levy?
Oh, yeah. Levy's gone. Chris Fowler will be your number 2 Monday night guy.
Can I tell you something? They have the same voice. I couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah, they have the same voice.
Oh, I think Chris Fowler is much better than.
Then somebody on there sounds like Steve Levy, because I thought Steve Levy was on there. And then I was like, is that Steve Levy?
Chris
maybe
Fowler
I'm thinking of somebody else.
In my opinion, Chris Fowler is much better.
And he's also, at least to me, he doesn't come across anywhere near as smug.
No.
And then who's the guy who's been doing the NBA games with that gal? Because that guy I thought was Steve
I don't
Levy.
know, because Fowler just does football, I think.
Yeah,
okay. Well, then we're not talking about Fowler.
Well,
but somebody
Fowler does football and tennis.
Who's been doing the NBA games on ESPN with that gal? You know, the one that sounds like 3 a.m. closing time, that gal. Because
Doris Burke?
Is that Doris?
You're talking about Doris Burke?
Oh, man. I didn't realize it was Doris. Doris is hot.
I didn't know if it was Doris Burke or not. You know, the ESPN, they bring in the ladies to do the commentary.
Well, I got no problem with that.
I have no problem with that either.
You know who has a problem with that?
I don't know if that's Doris Burke or not, is what I'm trying to say.
Let's go around the room. Keon, you got a problem with ladies doing play-by-play?
Nope.
Ralph, you got a problem with ladies doing play-by-play?
I didn't until I can't remember her name on the NHL network.
But, in general.
No, she was horrendous, and people stopped watching because of her, and they had to move her off of it.
I know who you're talking about. She's gone.
That sounds like she's bad.
All right. But in general.
No, in general, absolutely not.
Randy, you're all right with the ladies?
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
Yeah, me too. You know who's not all right with the ladies? The ladies. They've actually done studies where women who like to watch sports, they can't stand it when there is a female sports talk show host or play-by-play announcer type person. They don't care if they're sidelines.
Yeah.
But man, women hate on other women doing play-by-play.
Tell you what,
more than men do.
I'll tell you what. Jessica Mendoza, she does baseball a lot of times for ESPN on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
She is really good.
Very good. Yes.
She's knowledgeable. She takes time to watch the tape. She knows the game. She knows how to call the game. She knows when to put in, when to put out. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Just Mendoza.
She puts out.
You know when the
You know what I'm talking
there are
about.
women that are terrible at this. It's the WNBA women. Have you ever watched I mean, I know you.
Are you kidding?
No.
If you ever watch a WNBA game, it sounds like they're all nasal.
Well,
they're all trying to talk. To me, it sounds like
They're all nasal.
No, nasal.
Oh,
It sounds-
nasal.
They're all Mrs. Maisel. Yeah.
They're trying to be these perfect. I mean, the way they talk, they're trying to talk a certain way, and it just doesn't work. And it's
All
horrible.
right. Well, there's
mean-
only one person here who watches WNBA at a regular basis, and that's Keon. So, Keon, how's the announcing over there?
I do think that there is something to what Ralph is saying, where like I feel like they tell a lot of the broadcasters that do the NBA that there's a broadcast voice that they have to do, and then you just don't have to.
You mean
But-
they're doing a voice kind of like this right here?
We used to call it puking back in the days of music radio.
Those would be better.
Yeah, except it doesn't come across that way.
like this
Um,
woman.
Maybe because their voices just aren't as deep, but whatever it is, it just comes across sounding a different kind of annoying.
There's a fly,
but-
slam a jamma right there.
But that's on like the ESPN broadcast. It's not all of them. Some of the local ones sound pretty nice.
Yeah, the ESPN sucks. 888-368-1580. Beer Bob says Bronny might not end up better than his dad, but well, he's already done something. His dad never did get into college. That's a good point. Good point. He might need that to fall back on.
Now, I don't think he applied, but it.
Fifth letter says, Ralph, what channel is that Little People show on again?
TLC.
TLC. Yeah.
There's two of them.
Of course there is. If you put them on top of each,
Then you get one show. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the 7 Little Johnsons
Sure.
and Little People Big World. You got to watch them both.
7 Little Johnsons. Is that
Sorry.
what you said, Ralph?
7 Little
On
Johnsons.
this show, you came out
Johnston.
with 7 Little Johnsons.
It's like a
Leon,
cold
did you
day in the
hear what he
Laker
said?
locker room.
There's a T in there. There was a T in there.
You heard the T?
I did
Because
hear
all
the
I heard
T.
was 7 Little Johnsons
Oh my God!
on
No,
this radio
I
program.
I can't sit here and lie. I did hear Ralph say Johnston.
It was cold.
Oh my God!
I did hear.
CK says, I believe Dave Pash and Hubie are calling the game tonight.
Hubie. Yeah.
Wilbur says, my wife hates, or should I say dislikes strongly, female announcers. Yeah, I don't know why. I've listened to like Amy Lawrence in the middle of the night on our station, and she's kind of corny, but she's pretty good. And then but other people hear like, oh my God, I can't stand that. And same thing on some of the Talking Heads shows. Just I don't know what it is.
See, what I appreciate
something
is
psychological, I guess.
All right, I probably will ruffle some feathers, but when Beth is on there, she sounds like she's doing an announcer voice. But
a little bit, yes.
When Hannah Storm is on, it's Hannah Storm. You see what I'm saying?
So Beth does the announcer voice. Hannah Storm does oh my God, the grill's exploded voice.
Yeah. She's a little excitable, but I'm just saying, be who you are. Don't get out there and try to do this right here.
Because that sounds annoying.
Yeah.
Just
now we're all thinking about how we talk, aren't we?
I mean, unfortunately,
it's all in our head going, well, we're going to be ourselves now.
Don't do Steve Berthume either way.
Maybe an hour and 15 minutes into the show is not maybe the time to become self-conscious about your voice, but here we are. We've done it.
Whatever you do, don't do Steve Berthume. Oh my God.
I don't even know where he lives. Hamilton Porter says Pam Oliver's the worst, man or woman. Or is that a question? Man or woman? She's a woman.
Pam Oliver?
You don't know
I think
that.
she's fine.
You don't know that.
What's the problem with Pam Oliver?
You don't know her pronouns.
It's a good point. We'll have to ask her. Well, see, I mean,
yeah, that's the thing.
Her pronouns is not certainly Johnson.
Most. Oh boy,
7 little.
Not even a little one.
Most normal people don't have a problem with you assuming. They just will correct you, and then that's okay.
King Kenton says LeBron was pretty proud when he was talking about his son becoming the first member of the family to go to college. I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
And it's not like It's not like LeBron has hurt for it. I mean, it was a decision that was properly made. You know. Wilbur says Randy does a really good Wolfman Jack. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I don't know if I've ever heard you do Wolfman Jack. I've heard you do Dusty Rhodes. I've heard you do Sergio Garcia. I've heard you
Wolfman
do
Jack,
Prince Charles.
I haven't done that in years.
Hokamati says, I just pictured Jeffrey at home going, "Hey, everybody," in that voice.
That's not Jeffrey.
I was just doing an impersonation myself. I didn't sound like me?
No.
Oh,
It's like Harry Carey.
See, I don't know how to impersonate myself.
It sounded like you were trying to do a Harry Carey.
I don't know how to impersonate myself. I've never tried.
For you.
Just be you, man. Just be you.
Well, see, now I'm all self-conscious about it.
That's the thing. Like I
don't know what to say now. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
If there was just one
Keep 'em
segment
up.
left in the show, this would be fine.
Keep
Now
them
you're just
visible.
having a full existential crisis in the middle of a show.
Yeah, keep my hands where you can
Keep
see
them
them, or else
visible,
you're gonna be
yes.
thinking about the
Absolutely.
little Johnsons. All right.
Oh boy.
All 7 of them.
Oh,
Straight Striper says, I worked harder to build my company and no longer work nights anymore just so I'd be asleep when Amy Lawrence was on.
Wow.
That's great.
look. That means that she has value. She is motivational.
Text of the day.
Like I said, she's all right. She's corny. She's corny.
She's corny, but I like. I don't.
Navy Brad says, I vote for Sir to be president of the WNBA. Why would you do that? Ralph does that. Ralph has no interest in being president of the WNBA.
Actually, I would love to do it.
Really?
I would bring in a bunch. I'm just not going to say it because I'm going to get in trouble. So.
Yeah, probably.
Just shorten their rims. That's all.
Lower them.
Pro tip.
Don't do that.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey, Culligan, get a smart water softener, lift those heavy salt bags for me.
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you. So your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 biggie bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fried co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, bag boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys, bag boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of double stacked JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nuggets, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like. You convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online,
Oh, you better have a good excuse.
yeah, we've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love.
Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk.
And you'll love every bit of it. Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive. Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580, thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hook'em Hottie, is that true, or are you just saying like she's your hero? Hook'em Hottie says, Amy Lawrence is my mentor. I love her. Some women are good at sports talk. All right, so here's the question. When you say mentor is in you listen to her and you find inspiration, or like you have her home phone number and she gives you advice, kind of mentor? I'm curious about that. 888-368-1580. Just remember, if you talk to her, I was the one that said nice things about her. I mean, I did say she's a little corny, but you know, that's not a bad thing.
I said nice things about her too. I just want that on the record.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about her.
You know, she sounds terrifying. While I'm,
oh well, that
I'm just kidding. Walter Mellon says, "Hey guys, just want to say thank you for putting on a great show. It's a nice mix of sports info, some betting info, a little bit of history, and some humor.
Some humor.
Some. Thanks again for a great show. Thank you, Walter. Appreciate that. Now tonight we're going to be watching the Suns on the ESPN. During the regular season, we watched the Suns primarily on the Bally's. And then now the Suns came out and said, well, Bally's has gone to bankruptcy. And so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put these games on a channel that you can get with an antenna. And it won't be like a big subscription kind of
the
thing.
way it should be.
Yeah. Except for a problem. So the Suns did that last month. We're going to broadcast everything on channel 3 and 5 with Gray Television and, with the streaming and all these things. We figured out a better way of doing it that works for everybody. We were like, yay, except for Bally's. And now Bally's is like, wait, that's not right. And, unfortunately, Bally's is right. The U.S. bankruptcy judge, Christopher Lopez, has ruled the company could not yet move on from their existing contract with Diamond Sports Group, just because they went bankrupt. Now, everybody got to remember, because I saw this on the Twitter, bankruptcy is not the death of a company. Bankruptcy is a legal reorganization of things. And, it doesn't mean, so many companies go bankrupt and come out of it better on the other side. It's just a way of protecting the company and dealing with some issues. So for Bally's, they're not dead. And so for the Suns, it was probably premature of them to jump. I remember when we talked about it the first time, I wondered about this. I'm like, how are they getting away with that? Unless Bally's was just going to be like, all right, fine, go on. Well, it turns out, no. There's no damages awarded yet, but they did leave the door open for that. They just said, hey, at this time, you are still in contract with the Phoenix Suns. And so, I don't know what changes next to get Matt Ishbia what he wants, and that is the Suns on broadcast TV. And that would be what the fans want. That's what all of us want. And if Ishbia is really serious about it, I feel like some sort of financial settlement is going to be in order before that can happen. And so the question is the rent too damn high? Because now you're paying off Bally's, and then, you're having to make financial considerations in the other direction as well. So
why doesn't Ishbia just rip off a couple of billion and buy Bally's?
Don't think. Oh, okay. I was going to stop there.
Just buy it and then take it dark.
I thought you were going to say, why does he rip off a couple billion and just pay off, Bally's, make them go away? And I was like, I don't think that's cost effective, but I think Ishbia's money is tied up in something called the Phoenix Suns right now. So, listen, as far as fairness goes, Bally's is on the better end of this. Bally's is on the correct side of this. And but it shows you how aggressive Ishbia will be when he wants to do something. That's why I think that there's going to be zero consideration for any sort of a luxury tax when it comes to the Phoenix Suns.
I don't think this topic is dead. I think we'll hear more.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's still going to be arbitrated. It's still going to be in the courts. And, the Suns, say, like, listen, we're working on a fair resolution, best interest of the fans, the community, and the players. So they're still focused on making this change and doing what they have to do. It's just going to be a matter of, well, are you willing to pay the price? Because that price is not going to be, it ain't going to be small.
Hey, Ken Kendricks, do you hear what he's doing? Ken? Hey, Ken.
But it could be ill-advised what he's doing, Randy.
Ken, do you hear what he's doing? Ken? Hello, Ken.
One thing I don't know is how long of a contract does this, does this end up being? You know what I'm saying? How long?
Seems like forever.
Did they sign a new deal or something and then suddenly want to go back on it now that Ishbia is in town? This is going to get ugly and expensive. So we may not get resolution of this, but it might be a thing where they shift some of this over to the streaming and, let Diamond do some stuff and then have broadcast TV still air stuff. They might try to find a way to make everybody happy, but I don't know. This is just going to be a mess right now. Seemed like it was too good to be true when they first announced it.
Hey, Juan Gutierrez, what's his name? The Coyotes owner, Gutierrez.
I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know.
You hear that? You hear that? Broadcast TV. Your fans are out there on broadcast TV.
So it looks like the Suns agreement with Bally's is for up to 5 years.
Oh, geez, they just got out of one. That deal expired in 23, and the new deal, it was going to start. So I think they were trying to say, well, we can't be kept to this new deal because it hasn't started yet. It's like, but did you sign a piece of paper? I think it started. Anyway, so I guess we'll just sit back and watch this and dream of the day that it's just on the regular television. Hefty Lefty says, I used to love that every away Laker game was available on free TV on KCAL 9.
Yep.
At least us poors could watch a guaranteed 41 games a year for free.
Yep.
Boomer Suitor says, I can't wait to watch the Suns eat leftovers. Okay. That sounds amazing. Actually, his leftovers do sound amazing. Shrimp, lobster, and crab.
I mean, you could say a lot of things about Boomer Sooner, but you cannot talk about the way he eats.
He's got good taste.
Top notch.
Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, if Carolina gets the first pick in the NBA draft, they'll be the first pro team in the modern era to pick first in the football draft and the basketball draft. Wow. That's, not really something that makes you want to move to Carolina.
It's not going to happen.
Hefty Lefty says, yes, that's all I'm going to say. 888-368-1580. All right, moving on to the next thing here. Remember we told you yesterday about old Bob Huggins got fired? Saying some stuff on the radio you shouldn't say.
Well, he didn't get fired, but yeah.
Well, he should have been fired. What happened with him was he lost $1 million of his $4 million salary, and they suspended him 3 games, and then that was it. And then he wrote some sort of apology, or somebody wrote it for him and he signed it because he doesn't care. Anyway, so, showing you right there that they just don't give a damn. Nobody cares. So this guy, he got away with some really bad stuff, saying some really bad things on a radio show. I mean, even was it on an actual radio? I think it was on actual radio.
I believe it was. Yeah.
That's like FCC findable stuff, I think.
What did he say?
Well, I'm not going to repeat it.
Don't repeat it, but I mean,
no, because I don't want to have happen to me what happened to this guy. No, this guy, Locked On podcast host Josh Neighbors. He's been fired because he played the clip. He actually went on his show and played the clip of what Bob Huggins said, and he got fired. All he did was say, listen to this guy, right? Played the clip, then said, this was horrible. He should have been fired. It is a horrible thing. And he's like, I aired it just so people could know, what kind of bad guy this was. But he forgot his company has a no tolerance policy. So no matter what your motivation was, what your thought process was, you are fired.
It's a shame, man, because Josh does an excellent job on that podcast.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but it was a decision I think that he made where maybe you just have to think of ways to work around that. Like I'll post the audio here if you really want to hear the worst of it
But
or
we
whatever.
don't need Josh Neighbors to play the actual audio. We were able to explain the story without using the actual words. And listen, I'm not a guy. Listen, believe me, I don't believe words can. I don't think anything should be censored. I think words, are only as hurtful as we allow them to be. So I'm not one of these people who's afraid of words, but there are certain words you should not use, and there's certain things you should not say, and there's certain things that should not be, thrown around. But in this circumstance, knowing that you feel like that guy should be fired for saying these things, you don't need to play it to say it.
I don't think you need to, but I also think that different people should be able to approach that topic from different angles. And Bob Huggins is somebody who, for as long as I can remember, growing up watching college basketball, was known as one of the good, upstanding college basketball coaches. And I do think that when I heard the audio first, I bet it
hit hard.
It hit hard, not just because of what he said, but because of the reputation of Bob Huggins. And I think that there is some merit to having that. But obviously, if your platform doesn't allow for it, it just doesn't allow for it. And you do have to figure out a way to talk around that.
Well, I mean, I guess that is the discussion. The discussion is, does it bear more weight as something that should not be said by playing it? Or is it enough just to say, dude said some messed up stuff that nobody should be saying? And can't that just be enough?
I think that there are people who they would love to avoid that, like maybe just brings up bad memories, takes them to bad places, whatever.
I wish we lived in more of a common sense time where Josh Neighbors can play that audio and all of us go, oh my God, Bob Huggins should be fired. And that's the end of it. Because I don't think Josh Neighbors is playing that because he's like, I want to hear him say bad things.
He denounced it before he played the audio. He denounced it after he played the audio.
But maybe that's also where the no tolerance is, because somebody might use these sort of circumstances as a way of abusing that. I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's more financial that the Locked On Podcast Network is on multiple platforms. It's on YouTube. It's on, a bunch of streaming services, whatever the podcast network, and those terms and services of all of those various platforms, rather than try and figure out each one, just keep the speech out of it, just to keep all of our podcasts safe so that we can get the streaming and the streaming money and all of that for
He could have played the clip, but he could have edited the clip.
Bleep the clip.
And that was a choice he didn't want.
Do you feel like your understanding of this, Keon?
Yeah.
It was made better by hearing him actually say the words?
It was much more jarring for me to hear him actually say the words. Again, based on the reputation that he's always had. Like he is literally a guy that is seen as a father figure to a lot of his players and all of that. And then
the real him came out, didn't it?
Yeah, and that is insanely unfortunate. And I think that the way that it first hits you when you hear it, you're like, oh my God. And it hits you in a way that I don't think Beeps would.
I thought Ralph was going to say something. He's whispering to himself.
I'm reading what he said.
Don't read it out loud.
No, of course not. I mean, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand it. That's all.
Yeah. I kind of feel trapped in this weird spot where I don't. I've always said words hold no dominion over me. And I don't think that we need to be so sensitive about every little thing. And, maybe that we've gone a little bit too far in being oversensitive. But it's not about the words. It's about what is being said. And the minute he said those things, not just the way he said it, but what was behind it, now that's something you're like, yeah, that shouldn't be said. And hell, that shouldn't even be heard.
Yeah. And I've watched, a lot of like YouTube videos and stuff where people try and handle sensitive content like that. And they'll say, hey, look, this is something that you shouldn't really, like, most people don't want to hear this. And if you don't, skip to, here and then whatever to skip all of this.
Some of that though, sensationalizing and then playing the clip unedited, just, for your own benefit, not really to make an actual point that could be made without playing it.
Yeah. And I think that Josh was trying to make the point of this is a highly respected individual in college athletics, and he got a slap on the wrist, and this is what warranted a slap on the wrist. And I think that it does hit harder without it. I listened to his explanation of it, and I thought that he wasn't coming from a place of trying to be sensational.
Okay. Well, I guess in the end, it did not matter because Locked On says no tolerance means no tolerance. And you really should have thought of that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. And it's a shame that he got fired for less than what Bob Huggins did. You know, he got punished more for just bringing light to it than the guy who actually did the dirty deed.
Is what Bob Huggins did generational?
That just seemed, no, you know what that seemed? Generational is when we were in junior high throwing those same words around, but not with hate. We weren't throwing those words around with hate.
But was he throwing them around with hate? Or was
the
he just...
way you heard him say it, it came out with an edge. It came out with a Catholics. And then,
it was just like, wow.
You're like, whoa.
He doesn't like gay people, but he didn't like Catholics either. Like, what is happening?
It was just... It's kind of like
this. It just kind of all came out bad.
There used to be another guy that worked in Phoenix radio that I knew, not on this station ever, but we were on the same station. And I'd come on and I'd say something like, man, son of a bitch. I can't believe this. But when he would say, son of a bitch, it made it sound so vulgar and horrible where you're like, oh my God. But the way Bob Huggins said those horrible things had that kind of tinge, that sort of edge to it, where you're like, he means that.
And when you think of Bob Huggins as the nice guy, and then you hear that, it's a shock to the system. It is definitely that.
So I don't disagree with anything any of you are saying. He shouldn't have said that. I just read what he said. I saw a censored version and I couldn't figure out why the censored version didn't have those words in it. Then I saw the real version and I went, holy crap.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, you just don't say that.
Don't.
Right?
Why?
Now,
do
but
that?
like you said, when we grew up, I mean, those are words we all threw around, but there was no hate around it.
Right.
I mean, it was just how we talked.
Right.
You know,
and we've learned since.
I just, society has changed so much. We live in such a sensitive society,
overly sensitive
society, that any little thing that we say, now all of a sudden I could be this great person that's done all these great things my whole life that I don't talk about, but I do. And yet because I said this, now I'm the devil.
Well, here's the problem though. When you do, and then maybe this goes to Josh Neighbors' point, when you hear him actually say it, it is so like, whoa, that's not just a slip. That's a bad guy.
No, that's probably who he probably says that stuff off camera all the time. That's the way he talks.
But he says it with it's said with hate.
And I think that sometimes when you do add the censorship, or when you just say, hey, trust me, it's really, really bad, I don't think you get across that this is not an instance where someone is just being sensitive.
Well, let me say this, bitch, I got bills to pay. I ain't reading what he said.
And he could have done that.
If he said it with hate, that's wrong. It's not for me to judge this man's heart. I don't know his heart. I mean, that's something he'll be judged on later. But I mean, I don't know. Again, I just think I'm not condoning what he said because it's right. He should have never said that. But I just think society is so overly sensitive about every little thing that I don't want to be a person that's afraid to talk.
I'll agree with you on the fact that society is oversensitive, but we should never consider it being oversensitive to hate. And the way
I agree with you.
The way he projected this, it could have been the N word as much as it was the F word. It could have been the anything. It was just, there was so much venom behind that and comfortableness. That's why Keon is saying, when you hear that, you're like, oh, geez, what the?
I agree with you, right? I'm not sensitive to words. Words don't do a thing to me. I mean, I can listen to.
Well, you understand so few of them.
No, it's true, which it really does help. But like, I mean, you can listen to music and different things in society today, and the words that come out in those songs are all things that we are not ever supposed to be saying. But yet, all these artists say this stuff. No, they all do. Easy. Now, what you're saying is because they're not motivated by hate, it's okay.
I'm not even saying that. Every one of these things, it's common sense, easy to determine when something is a slip, when something is practice, when something is hateful, when something is just dumb. It's not hard to sort out. And the Bob Huggins thing is not hard to sort out. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. I looked at what he said and how he said it in the context. And yeah, I mean, obviously there's some There's something going on there.
Cabana says his over-under for Durant to be flat or butt on the floor is 6+. I don't understand what that even means.
You're just saying that Kevin Durant falls down a lot?
Where did you get the number 6?
He's a very tall, skinny person that goes to the basket often. I mean,
we could have all gone to break feeling very thoughtful about the conversation we just had. And now we're all just going to be like,
good conversation.
Who's Cabana talking about? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Today on Hey Culligan, Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey, Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or t-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get caught up on the old text line here. Against the Spread says Ishbia is the most ruthless corporate businessman. He is like the John Rockefeller of the mortgage industry. It's going to be easy for him to dump Bally's. He might have a horse's head put in the CEO of Bally's bed to get the Suns televised for the masses if he has to. Well, maybe so, but it's all pluses and minuses. It's all dollar signs, and at some point there is a cost of doing business that's too high. So we'll see what Ishbia does next on that. We're all selfishly hoping that it does get pulled away from Bally's just because it'll make it easier for us to watch the damn games. But
I did notice that the most recent letter was a little bit more calm, a little bit more, hey, we're just doing this for the fans. We're going to try and work out a fair, whatever. The first letter after Bally's first said, hey, we're going to sue you if you try to back out of this, was very defiant. It was basically like they can't stop this from happening. So I think once you get Matt Ishbia in that place where he thinks it's a competition, I'm actually worried about Bally's.
I can't wait.
I'm a little worried about him.
Would be fun to watch. A historian wants us all to know that today was the last day back in 1989 for the TV show Dynasty. It was their final episode after 217. Yes,
for Dynasty. Yes,
never saw one episode.
Yeah, me neither.
And I don't know, historian, why you thought that would be something we would care about. Slim Pickens Hat says, I didn't see it, but to ruin a lifetime of achievement from being a dumbass for a few minutes, yeah.
Well, that's the point. He didn't ruin anything. He got his salary cut by $1 million. That's it.
And 3 games. But
and he's still making $3 million a year plus whatever he has in the bank.
Let's face it, where he said that, the area, yeah, they're not going to be too upset about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was an article today I was reading about it where Bob Huggins is now the most powerful man in West Virginia.
Yeah, he got away with it. Straight Striper says, if you don't value someone as a person, why would you value their words or what others are repeating? As a mixed race individual, I've grown up hearing it all. Understand context, stick true to your moral values, and move on. Life would be easier if we'd all just learn to let some things go. I agree, but there's also a point where there are certain people in certain positions that have to be held accountable for their actions and their words. And in Bob Huggins' situation, very much so, he's one of those people, and he just got to skate on that. Yeah, I think we're all going to be fine. We're all going to get over it. We're all going to move on with our lives. But I just don't like looking over my shoulder going, another one got away with it. So what's the next thing someone gets away with?
I could tell you who we won't root for in the NCAA men's basketball.
USC?
No, West Virginia.
He's a coach at West Virginia University. Is that what
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just tells you what you need to know about West Virginia University and what they think.
Like we really needed the education.
Now, come on. Not everybody in West Virginia is that. I've been there many times.
So I know I got family from there.
There's definitely some backwardsness over there, but
And I got to say, to me, I don't ignore words. Not because I just think that someone says the words and now my heart feels like it's exploding. But because when you say enough words and hateful people feel like, oh, this is normal.
Mm-hmm.
We're one step away from hateful actions once we start allowing that.
So true.
I don't want to take that too lightly. Mm-hmm. And I say this as somebody who Black person living in the South for 10 years. I've heard everything too. And when some people are a little too comfortable, you gotta go, and that's just the way that things are right now.
Yeah, Keon's like, you gotta go.
You just, you're like, okay, I'm sitting in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and a bunch of my neighbors are just putting out Confederate flags. I think it's time to move.
It's time to go.
I agree with you, Keon. You shouldn't ignore words, but don't let them have power over you. That's all I'm saying.
And Ralph, there's a balance there.
I agree. I lived in the South, and I saw that too. I was down in South Carolina and Alabama and all that. And there, when you got into certain areas in those states, it got scary. I don't care what your ethnicity was. If you weren't them, you're the
outsider.
Yeah, that's
right.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I've been in parts of the South where I was like, everybody take off your shoes. We got to blend in. This is scary.
Let me knock your tooth out real quick.
I had a teacher who stopped at a restaurant to get something to eat, and the lady came from behind the counter and said, "Ma'am, I don't have a problem with you, but not everybody here is me. I wouldn't stay if I were you." And I think that was like her trying to be like, hey, this is just not it. Because it's just, that's the way things are. And when you, and because people are comfortable saying that stuff everywhere, if it's just one or two people, let it roll off your back. But when it starts to be a lot of people, then you do have to push back a little bit. And unfortunately, Bob Huggins has a lot of influence on what a lot of people think.
So we got to keep fighting the ones that matter.
See, but Bob Huggins, though, if you look up his history, he had a DUI one time, and he got into a fight with a college president.
There's a lot of nice people who've had DUIs.
Well, no, he got into a tussle with
the college president one is a little surprising. I didn't know that story.
University president.
I'll fight a college president. I don't even care.
I mean, sure, but
I don't even need a reason.
Fighting a university president as a guy who works for the university
I
president
guess
is a
it
little bit
doesn't
different.
surprise me that this guy's ego is way out of check.
Hook'em Hottie says, as the only Jew in my entire high school over 2000, I agree, Keon. Yeah, absolutely right. Cabana, I'll get back to that. Against the Spread says, DeAndre Ayton didn't hurt his ribs. He's scared to play in crunch time. Remember last year during Game 7 against Dallas? He friggin' quit on his team. They should list him on the injury report with having a bruised ovaries and a 10-man heart.
If it wasn't injured ribs, it should have been a DNP coach's decision. Like he doesn't want to be out there. The ribs, okay, it's a convenient, like, oh, look at the timing of this. But if it wasn't that, like, Monty should not have played him anyway.
Yeah, but a DNP might go against his contract. He might lose a bonus or something.
Yeah, but that's up to Monty though.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying it's probably more favorable that he has a bruised ribs.
We know it's bruised. Twitty says, don't worry about judging Huggins, Ralph. I'm sure the Catholics will do a fine job of that for everyone.
Just he was saying all of that stuff, and I was like, what did the Catholics get in all of this? Why did he specifically? I mean, it was.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. King Kenton says, hey, Wonder Dogs, are the Celts eliminated tonight?
Let's hope so.
I don't think so.
Really? I mean, if it's going to happen, this is going to be where it happens on their own home court.
This is the only chance right here.
And Harden just bricked a 3, so no, I guess not. 888-368-1580.
I sent you on the Twitters, Jeffrey, the video of what James Harden wore.
Is it a winning or is it losing?
It's odd, but it's not as weird as some of his other ones.
Yeah, then I guess it's not going to happen. I guess that's going to be the end of that. All right, before we get into football, Max Alves got suspended by the Colorado Rapids for illegal spread. Oh, that's
Colorado Rapids.
Wait, that's soccer.
MLS.
Yeah, I can't believe you were talking to MLS.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? You have
I guess when I printed, I thought it said Colorado Rockies, but no, it says Rapids. They are. I got caught by I didn't have my glasses on. And,
MLS.
You got checked.
Sports gambling.
I was like, I don't even know that name.
Good God. Ooh. Yeah, I get he got $12,000 for trouble. So
so you wanted to talk MLB, but you talked
MLS.
We could talk Dodgers if you want.
Oh. Why would I do that?
I mean, just because
don't feel like it. Don't feel like it. Listen, it took your horrible team forever to finally get a couple games up on the Diamondbacks, and you're not out of the woods yet, there, kid.
No, it's going to get better from here. I'm good.
All right, keep telling yourself that.
Uh-huh.
We are going to talk quite a bit about the NFL stuff here in a minute. But before we do, I guess LeBron James and Darvin Ham are mad at Steve Kerr. They're mad at him because Steve Kerr said right before Game 5, there was definitely some gamesmanship. And look, I give him credit. If you can sell a call in this league and do it, then you do it. Whatever it takes to win. Basically, translation, then some flopping bastards over there.
Yeah, like they're not doing the same thing.
So then LeBron James is like, hey, we are not flopping. That's not us. Okay, you, LeBron, should not have talked. Let him say this, but not you, LeBron.
Right.
Captain Floptastic of the Floptasticals.
Yeah.
It's just LeBron James is an amazing basketball player for having played 20 years in this league at the level that he's played.
I thought you were going to say he was an amazing flopper.
Well, hold on. There's a direction to this. But as a result of having played 20 years in the league, we can actually make an hour-long LeBron James flop video of just his flops. His greatest flops. Yes.
Yeah.
No stops or commercials.
No stops in between.
How about the one where he went down and he's grabbing his ankle and there was some sort of scuffle on the floor?
And they just ignored him.
And they ignored him. And he kept looking around. And then he got up and ran to another spot on the court. And then he went, and he went down again and grabbed his ankle. Remember that one?
The heated Pacers series that he used to have when he was in Miami with the Heat and the amount of phantom fouls called on Roy Hibbert. Look, it's infuriating to hear LeBron specifically be the guy flopping me. Not a day in my life.
Name
like
one
LeBron,
team that doesn't flop.
That there isn't.
Name a team that flops more than LeBron does singularly.
But NBA is a flop league. That's all they do.
No, it's more LeBron.
You got your soccer guys, and then you got your NBA guys.
Yeah,
but not everybody in the NBA flops. And when it comes to superstars, LeBron and James Harden are like top of
Hall of
Mount,
Fame floppers.
of Mount Everest. Of
Well,
floppers.
LeBron
though,
James is the best. He's a mother flopper.
As far as like owner flops, Ishbia, he's probably number one.
That wasn't
he's
a
a
flop.
flop. Yeah, it
No,
was. It was a flop. Yeah, it was.
You watch it at speed.
He's
That was
the
a
only
show.
owner
Bad.
embellishing hits. So there's
Oh no, I got it.
Oh, come on. Hour 3 is next. Daily Blender, 1580, Fanatic. When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 biggie bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fried co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, bag boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys, bag boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of double stacked JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nuggets, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants to polos and khakis to Oxfords or t-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like. You convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready.
And get ready for the workday.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start? Right now. 3, 2, 1. Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar joining us. Keon Rose is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And in 2 hours, we'll find out what these Phoenix Suns are actually made of. And you can just shut right up, Ralph. I know it's coming next.
Nothing.
Got to clean up a little bit of the text line here. Hefty Lefty says that Schroeder flops more than LeBron. Does Schroeder flop more than LeBron?
Schroeder's not a flop.
Dennis Schroeder.
That's what I said.
Well, Schroeder was the one that actually said, they're moving on screen, so you got to throw your head back or they're not going to call it. So
that sounds like flopping.
Yeah,
to
that
me,
is by his own admission, even though it may be
Pretty
a
clear.
valid reason for it.
Pretty clear.
Is a flop.
King Kenton says, hey, Randy,
8 Brazilian players were suspended to go along with the soccer betting story there. Randy, should they fear for themselves in Brazil? Why are you asking Randy? And by the way, Randy is not in the room at the moment. He went to get some whiskey, and sometimes it's a long pour. He'll be back. Twitty, it says, doesn't MLS stand for most lame sport? We checked, and yes, it does. You are correct. Well done. Hefty Lefty says, yeah, it's saying a lot considering LeBron is awful at it. Top 5 floppers in the league for me would be as follows. Marcus Smart, Schroeder, LeBron, CP3, and Harden. Coming off the bench would be Curry and Brunson. You know, CP3, me used to draw those fouls quite a bit. He stopped doing that. You don't really see him. I mean, we don't see him at all right now because he's hurt, but it seems like lately he hasn't been pulling that nonsense, has he?
No, because he's afraid to get hurt when he falls.
Yeah, he's very old.
All-time flopper, Hall of Fame flopper, Vlade Divac.
Plus, I think he's just at the stage in his career. Every hit on Chris Paul just looks real bad.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to flop anymore. They just all look terrible.
Oh my God, leave that old man alone. Why would you hurt that little guy? I guess if we did a flopping Mount Rushmore, it'd be just fall over. So it doesn't matter. Forget it.
That's funny.
So let's talk about what's going on here also in 2 hours. Actually, it's happening right now. In fact, it's already showing up on other TV screens, but the NFL schedule release is happening as we speak. The special NFL release show will be on here on 1580 Fanatic at 7 p.m. in case you care, and even if you don't. But here, before we start talking about this, though, let's does it matter? Does the schedule matter? They've already told us who all the opponents are going to be. Well, does it really have any sort of strategic advantage? I mean, can you really read tea leaves better knowing what week they're doing what?
I think not necessarily read tea leaves, but I think there are certain things that do matter. I think that when you play your divisional rivals, sometimes the league will front load your schedule with that stuff. Sometimes they'll backload it with that stuff. So are you playing your biggest rival, the team you match up against worst, week 17? If you think you're going to be fighting for a playoff spot around that point, where the hell is your bye week? That stuff kind of matters too. Are you playing on any major holidays? How many primetime games do you have? That's the kind of stuff that people kind of care about when it comes to the schedule.
I always look at bad weather games too. Are you going to be playing anything in December in Green
outside,
Bay,
right?
Yeah,
Buffalo like that. And other than that,
and also, the early season, like, are you going to be playing in the heat of Miami's humidity and all of that too?
And please, am I not going to Germany or Mexico or London?
My Colts are going.
Yeah,
my Colts got to play the cheating Patriots in Germany, and
worst field.
It doesn't hurt me because we're not going to be contenders this year anyway, and I'm fine with that. It's just going to be the education of Anthony Richardson, whether it's on or off the field. So I don't care about this next season. I'm not going to be sitting here making bets with anybody on my Colts, so just don't even bother. But your Seahawks, Ralph, how are you feeling about your chances right now?
I think they're a contender. I really do.
You always say that.
No, I mean, everything I've read about what they've done and what they've got in place, they're legitimate. They're a contender. I mean, they have a shot this year to go back to the Super Bowl. They're that good, I think. If it gels, if the defense gels with what they've added, and Geno has another Geno year with the new weapons that he has, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to give you an over-under right now, which I don't have to, last year I gave you 4, I think it was.
I think you said 3. 3 wins for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm at 11 or 12 right now. I'm feeling really good about it. We'll see, though.
I do hope good things for Geno Smith, and I do like Pete Carroll, and I have no problem with the Seahawks. I'll be honest. I'm not a Cardinals fan. I have no rivalry there, but I do hate those horrible neon colors. My God, you have the ugliest jerseys in the NFL.
You won't see those neon jerseys this year. They're wearing the retro ones. They'll be wearing the jerseys from the 70s. Really cool jersey. With
I'm not old enough to remember what that looks like, Ralph.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
No, I'm serious. I don't.
No, you are.
I never.
They'll be wearing the old Jim Zorn, Dave Craig.
I started watching football in the 80s.
Mostly silver,
Yeah, it's silver and blue. The helmet's silver, has the old Seahawk on it. You don't remember these, huh? They're awesome.
I'll look
cool
it up.
unis. Yeah,
I love those uniforms.
So your Commandos pretty much don't even worry about them, right? Don't even think about them. Nothing to watch there.
They'll compete in the NFC East. It's a tough division, and I'm optimistic that they'll win 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, I
They
tell
won
you what.
8 last year. I mean, with Carson Wentz playing more than half the games.
That's a good point.
What we're going to do is tomorrow we will actually go through the Cardinals schedule. and we'll see if we can pick a wins and losses kind of thing.
That'll be easy.
And we're going to do that with Ralph not around.
I'll be here just for that because that's too easy. Loss.
I'll just mute your mic for that segment. Yeah. You're welcome to join us again, but I don't think you're going to be very helpful in that.
Over under for the Cardinals this year, 4.
Stop.
I actually don't
No,
know.
I'm serious.
I don't know what the over under is for the season. I'm actually going to look that up now.
It should be about 4.
Yeah, you know what though? He says that every year, but this year you might be actually right.
I think I'm right.
It's not going to be good. With and here's I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into this. We'll talk about it tomorrow. 888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner says those Sea Chicken retro unis actually aren't bad.
Yeah, I love them.
Big George says, Jeffrey, you forgot to mention the worst part of the Seahawks. They're obnoxious fans. That 12th man BS gets old pretty fast. I'll be honest, the Seahawks fans are not even close to the most obnoxious fans. What's obnoxious about the Seahawks was when they got to the Super Bowl that year, and all of a sudden you saw these crisp, clean, brand new Seahawk jerseys and everybody with the little creases still in them. And they're like, I'm a lifelong fan. No, you're a poser. You know, that's the only thing I found.
That's every team. That happens to every team that goes to the Super Bowl. You get these bandwagon guys that jump on and buy a jersey. And to dispute what he just said, go to a game in Seattle as a Cardinal fan. My boss has done it. They are the nicest fans. They won't give you a hard time. They talk with you. They're the coolest people in the world. They just love their team.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest is pretty chill, man. Trust me, I should know. Let's see.
Did you want the over under for our teams?
I do.
Wait, who's
the FanDuel?
FanDuel's established the over unders?
Oh yeah.
This is probably gonna hurt my feelings, but go ahead.
All right. So let's start with the Cardinals. 4.5.
Thank you. Right on there.
Jag Dog was on that too.
4.5.
So since Randy is he must be in the bathroom or something. Over or under 4.5?
Under.
Under.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the under.
I'm thinking 4.
I think a top 3 pick
on the dot.
But that is so good for them.
Yeah, it could be.
It really is. So, all right. How about my Colts?
Your Colts have 6.5.
I'll say 7.
Wow, that is optimistic of my Colts. And I guess they're thinking that here's what the thought process is. Gardner Minshew, he'll muddle his way through, but they're thinking at some point Anthony Richardson is going to come in, and they're overestimating how good he will be, how soon. I'll be happy if Anthony Richardson doesn't play at all this year. And if that's the case, then that number sounds about right for just Gardner Minshew. And if there's more, then I'm happy. If there's not, I'm fine. We'll still have some good draft picks, get some better pieces next year. So this year is not my year for playoffs. This year is not my year for the Super Bowl. This year is my year to watch what should be a generational talent get better and better as he goes. That's all I can hope for. How about the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons?
I bet you they'll say 9.
Let's see here. We get.
You probably just looked it up.
I have not.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off if it's 2.
All right, Seahawks here at 8.5.
See?
Oh, look at that. Close. I don't want to hate. I mean, I want to aggravate Ralph, but I feel like Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. Geno Smith he's doing fine. I mean, I'd say that's probably about right.
I mean,
if Geno comes back,
that's about.
You're a 500 team. Congratulations.
I might even take the over on that. I mean, if you just look at their roster, it's a good roster.
It ain't gonna be 12 wins.
They're loaded. You watch. They're loaded.
I mean, they've got a solid offensive line. Kenneth Walker is the running back. I mean, they've got Lockett, Metcalf, and they went out and got Jackson Smith and Jigba in the draft. If you look at the defensive side, they got Tariq Woolen, top defensive player last year. Had a real strong argument for defensive rookie of the year, and they put Devin Witherspoon, the best corner in this draft, across from him.
Hey, listen, I'm not arguing the over under. I'm just saying it ain't gonna be 12.
It probably will be.
I don't know if I could say that with that level of confidence looking at that roster.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I don't think you realize how many things I can say with any level of confidence. I don't even care if I'm right. So what about your Commandos?
They got the Commandos at 6.5.
I figured 6.
That is optimistic.
So, but they've never finished below 6 under Ron Rivera.
Yeah, but at this moment, you don't even have a quarterback.
Yes, we do.
Who?
It's Sam Howell.
Who the hell's that?
The guy they drafted last year. And
I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Why does that matter?
Like, I have no idea what he looks like.
Yeah, because he hasn't started. They wanted to develop him, so they kept him on the bench. and they wanted to work on his footwork, and they wanted to, get him in acclimated to the NFL game.
He looks like he just woke up. Like in every picture, he looks like a guy who just woke up.
That is his face, but Budda Baker has that face too. So what do you want me to say? I like that he's got a just woke up face.
In the mock drafts, they have them drafting at 4, taking that second quarterback.
Yeah, like the thing with Howell is I like Howell a lot, but if it doesn't work out, okay, then you draft the quarterback, and you're now headed in the right direction.
Yeah,
either you have the guy or you get the guy. I happen to think Howell's pretty damn good though.
Hey, Randy, we were just talking the schedule releases and all the overs and the unders.
Yeah.
Good news. They've given your Cardinals the year off.
Oh, good. All right. Excellent.
As it turns out, the NFL just said you have a bye year, just a bye
Excellent.
season. Yes.
I love that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Head on down to the beach. We're good.
Yeah. Thank you.
888-368-1580. Quiet Cannon says one wagering organization analyzed every NFL player on every team. Cardinals have the lowest rating player by player of all teams in the NFL.
Thank you.
Still, the Cardinals are 4.5 games for the season. It sounds like under would be a no-brainer bet.
I agree.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
I don't want to hurt Randy, but I got to tell you, under is better for you, Randy. Your future and my future depends on not. Well,
I think you
blending in.
I think you guys know me by now. I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win every week.
You could be picking number 1 in the draft next year, and I think that'd be for you. You would want that.
I think it'd be amazing.
I would piss me off because of who you get, because you don't want to ruin that guy.
The problem is
Seahawks get stomped twice a year.
I'm not sure that Mr. Bidwell, with all due respect, I'm not sure that he is capable of letting Kyler Murray go. I'm not sure that he is willing to let that go. I'm not sure that he will allow
I don't think he's going to die on
Monty
that hill.
Osenfort to go out there and build a team.
He's already allowed Monty to shop him.
Right.
So
He's gone after next year. I would.
That's the
bet
thing.
on the house.
Awesome Fart and Gannon have talked Bidwell into doing whatever it takes. There are grown-ups that know football in the room now, and Bidwell looking over his shoulder is like, oof. I guess I got to listen to these guys.
But Bidwell is a guy that trusted Steve Keim.
Well, now he knows better. I'm sure they're still pals.
Implicitly trusted this guy.
He had photos.
Well, okay, that's fine, Randy. So maybe now he'll trust these guys implicitly, but these are guys who actually know something, it seems. I mean, look at that draft. Awesome Fart had an awesome draft. And we'll see how Gannon is as a coach, but I'm just saying, I feel like your future is pretty damn bright, Randy.
Well, let's see. Week 1's going to be a win.
Okay, we're not doing this today.
That's against Commandos.
We're doing that. Oh,
that's a win.
That's a loss.
Yeah, let's do this tomorrow because we don't have all this stuff in front of us yet. But Boomer,
sorry, Keon, I love you.
Boomer Sooner says,
too, man.
Jeffrey, 14 years ago, I lived in Orange County, had a neighbor that loved the Seattle Seahawks so much he had season tickets. So every home game, he would fly from Orange County to Seattle, have a 3-day weekend and watch a home game. That's a 12th man right there.
I had season tickets, and I used to go to the Kingdom to watch them.
They were so cheap. That's why. I mean,
they weren't hard. They weren't hard to get.
Yeah. Hefty
Actually,
Lefty
they were.
Says the schedule release is now just a flexing contest for the social media department of teams. Leader in the clubhouse last year was the Chargers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll go back and we'll take a look at all their little funny videos and see what they do. Big George says, I've been to many Cardinals and Seahawks games over here at State Farm Stadium, and the Seahawks are just as obnoxious as Cowboy fans, 49er fans. Seahawks fans also start a lot of fights. Trust me, I know, having worked as a prosecutor in that area, seeing all the arrests that occurs whenever the Seahawks came to town.
With the exception of me, they're not obnoxious.
Well, maybe it's
I'll
just
admit that I am.
Maybe it's just local Seahawks fans, but when you're up in the Pacific Northwest, it's peaceful. Last Optimist says, "Don't tell Keon." Oh, well, I can't say this then.
Well, that's a shame.
No, I'm going to do it anyway. Don't tell Keon, but Howell is currently projected to be cut.
That's not true.
Well, Last Optimist said it.
Well,
why would he lie?
Because he doesn't know the team. It's fine.
What
Why am I going to believe what Last Optimist has to say about my team?
What are your sources, Last Optimist?
None.
They're signing Cam Newton.
He made them up.
Quiet Cannon says, Randy, I hope you're right. Cardinals South Side can beat the Seahawks. Your they're at 3.5 games. I think they're going to surprise some teams that underestimate them.
No, they're not. They're going to suck. I mean, come on.
Going to get a Colt McCoy tattoo if they win more than
This
5
is what
games.
I'm going to do. I'm just going to be quiet and just let the season play out.
Yeah, either way, you win with that tactic.
Mm-hmm.
King Kenton says the Cardinals play Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Chicago, all in December. Can't remember the last real cold weather game for Arizona.
Every damn game this season is a cold weather game. Every single game.
Bandwagoner is calling Ralph a liar. Says, I'm from Seattle. The Seahawks fans are nuts.
They love their team, but they are nice to people that come into the stadium.
All right, Bandwagoner, do you concur with the peaceful existence of Seahawks fans in Seattle? Or are they just as pugnacious and all fighty in Pacific Northwest as they appear to be at State Farm Stadium?
And let's see your documents. Are you really from Seattle?
I need documents.
I want documents.
I want papers.
Show me
I
your
don't,
papers.
I don't know what the standards are for everybody else, because for me, it's like obnoxious fans are Philadelphia and then everybody else.
Dallas.
So, I mean, Dallas fans are
No,
annoying, but
Dallas
like
are annoying.
Philly fans are just on another level of
Yeah,
like, I'm scared sometimes with them. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Raiders.
I wouldn't put Seahawks fans in that vein.
Don't forget
All right.
Raiders.
Bandwagoner
That's a good point.
has responded. He says, oh, they're just excitable and annoying, but they're not violent. Well, that's what Ralph and I have been saying. So we're saying the same thing, but you're saying they might be a little more annoying than maybe Ralph has let on. That's what you're saying.
No.
Quiet Cannon says Cardinals have a coach from a lousy climate.
Okay.
Philadelphia.
So,
well, he's here now.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to wear a jacket.
I think he's acclimated to the desert Southwest.
Not yet.
Probably
No?
spraying him with squirt bottles.
You'll start seeing the next month when those temperatures shoot.
Yeah, you know, right now, oh no, you hire somebody in February, everybody's like, oh, this is great. I can't believe it. This is great.
Yeah, wait till July when it's 118.
But no, even right now, Randy, they're out on a practice field. They're like, hey, I love this. This is great. This is kind of hot right now. Is it? It's just, yeah. Wow, this is it. 2 months later, why?
I prefer the way
Practice is canceled today. We'll be inside.
that I showed up. I moved here in August, just in time for Lord.
Yeah, we
But then-
warned you.
Yeah.
But then like November, December, things chilled out. And when
Yeah, I
summer
told you.
came around the next
you
year,
were-
I was not surprised.
No,
I
not surprised.
knew what was coming.
Yeah, I told you.
Knew it was coming.
Whistling Gerbil says Cards versus Commandos week 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a win for the for the Cardinals.
Just pit us against each other right off the bat.
That won't be a national television game.
No.
As it shouldn't be.
As a matter of fact, I just
I-
looked on the Cardinals website. We have no primetime.
It'll be on
Surprise.
YouTube only.
Zero.
YouTube only.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, but at least
Somebody's going to go to the
I don't
game with
even
a
know-
phone.
At
I
least
don't
we
even
got
think we're on
Thanksgiving.
YouTube. I think we're on NFL.com.
It'll be on Twitch. It's
Yeah.
just there's
That's
one
it.
camera.
TikTok.
Yeah, the guy has to go to the bathroom. He's gonna like, can you hold
YouTube
this?
Shorts. It won't even be a full hour. YouTube Shorts. Yeah. Brrr, that's it. That was the game right there.
Hefty Lefty says, has the new coach called Harmon Solar yet to take advantage of all those days of sunshine?
No, and he just hasn't done it yet. So
Everybody comes around.
he will come around.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost ominous. Everybody comes around.
I might charge him a little extra. We'll see.
Do that again. Just say it like that.
Everybody comes around.
Clip that for me when you can.
Wow.
Will do. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but I'm sure I'm not going to like it.
Right, Jeffrey Dahmer.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Denver Nuggets are now the new favorites to win the NBA championship. Denver, who have never been to the finals, are plus 280 to win it all, while the Philadelphia 76ers are the second best bet to win the finals at plus 300. The defending champion Golden State Warriors are plus 850 to repeat as champs. Over in the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes are the favorite to win the cup at plus 250, while the Edmonton Oilers are plus 380. No Canadian team has won the cup since 1993. The Florida Panthers plus 500, while the Dallas Stars are plus 550. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention veterans, active duty military, civilians, and contractors.
If you were issued earplugs between 1999 and 2015 and were diagnosed with hearing loss or ringing in the ears, you may be entitled to compensation. The manufacturer of these military earplugs recently paid $9.1 million to resolve claims that their earplugs were defective, potentially exposing service members to damaging sound levels that could have resulted in hearing loss or tinnitus. If you or a loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss, don't wait. You fought for this country, and our attorneys want to fight for you. Call 800-474-0979 now for a free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. So call 800-474-0979 now. Again, 800-474-0979. That's 800-474-0979.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Throw to the plate. Tag, and he's out. The Arizona Diamondbacks are off to a great start with young talent playing exciting baseball, competing with the best of the league. This team is full of confidence. How long will the surprising Snakes keep this pace up? What awaits the team now that we are in May? When it comes to Diamondbacks baseball, listen for all the news, information, trades, injury updates, and more. If it's local and it's Diamondbacks baseball, we talk about it. It's on! 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sandy Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Are you guys looking at your schedules? I'm looking at the Colts schedule right now. Are you schedule baiting? I'm schedule baiting. And let's see here. Yeah. Nothing too interesting, actually.
I like to change my number on the Cardinals.
Okay, why?
2 and 15.
All right, why would you be that way?
Wow. I'm not doing it out of anger. I'm just looking at it going, they're 2 and 15. I see 2 games they can win.
And they're at the end of the season?
Those games are Atlanta and Houston. That's it.
Towards the end of the season?
They're middle season.
Anything that you give the Cardinals should probably be towards the end of the season, at least after game 6. And I'm not trying to be rude, Randy, but Kyler Murray will be out. And Colt McCoy, I don't even know if he's still there. Who's still there? Who's going to be the quarterback?
McCoy's still there.
Is he? Okay. You might get a win somewhere in that mess.
Man, I don't know how you guys can doubt the great power and magical effort by David Blau.
Because I've seen him play.
How can you guys doubt the effectiveness of a great quarterback like David Blau?
The best thing about David Blau is his girlfriend.
Oh, I've not seen her.
One ridiculous game he had on Thanksgiving.
And there you go. He had one game. He's got one in the pocket. So there'll be more. They're going to coach him up there.
There'll be 2
in the Cardinals. They're going to coach him up.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Colts, and it doesn't actually. The schedule doesn't look too bad actually. It looks kind of winnable. I might be over on the 6 games, man, just because of just how weak the schedule is. Not because there's nobody on this that scares me. The Rams don't scare me. The Ravens probably scare me.
Are you saying that, Ralph, we're so bad we can't even beat the Rams?
I don't think you can. I think I'm not saying this to be. I just think they're going to be.
Stafford's going to be better. He's going to be. I think it's going to
be healthy.
Yeah.
Is he though?
But Randy B, I would want to be. If I'm you, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
You have a shot at drafting. Maybe
I love how you guys are all
best.
like pumping me up. Hey, Randy, it's okay. You're gonna suck this year again. Don't worry though. This is going to be a great year for you.
It's better to suck for a cause than it is to suck hoping that you'd be good.
So nobody knows that better than me.
If you can suck, if you suck this year, and you will suck this year, you may get one of the best quarterbacks to come out in the draft in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, I got to tell you, it's going to be fun. My Sundays will be open.
You
It'll
want
be
to
wonderful.
suck. You need to suck. You need to suck like there's no tomorrow.
Call you Hoover.
Ooh. Get that Caleb Williams, man.
They did used to call me Hoover when I played softball, when I played third base.
Because you sucked it all up?
Yeah, I did.
It's a hot corner?
There was nothing got by me, third base.
I believe it.
Yeah, I actually think the Colts might screw around and end up winning too many games in this.
You don't want to win, Jeffrey.
I
It's
know.
okay.
I don't.
You don't want to win, Jeffrey.
Oh, here, quick. Let me just I'll just rattle through this. Jacksonville, Houston, Baltimore, Rams, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Cleveland, New Orleans, Carolina, New England, Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Houston. Dear Lord, there's only like 2 or 3 games there that that I'm scared of. The rest of that schedule, we could end up in the damn playoffs. I don't want to be in the playoffs this year.
Jacksonville's nothing to sneeze at.
Am I being delusional right now, Keon?
I'm telling you, Jacksonville's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I don't know that Jacksonville's going to be a team you run over there, but
they're not going to beat us twice. I just don't.
I think
see
you
that.
split with Jacksonville.
I don't know because I'm not the big believer in Gardner Minshew that you are, and I just think that
that's right.
Where the Jaguars have, not just Trevor Lawrence, but they've went out and got him weapons and built upon that defense. I think the Jags could probably beat you.
But we have Gardner Minshew,
the great,
that is
the legendary,
listen,
the one, the only, the man who started it all from Mississippi, went to Washington State and became a legend there. Gardner damn Minshew. Smile when you say his name, sir. Smile. The legend. The Mississippi Mudflap. The guy who takes a school bus and converts it into a workout bus and sits on the beach for days on end without food, without hygiene, without any sorts of jeans, probably in his cutoff jeans.
Felt shorts.
Damn Minshew will lead the Colts this season. Keon Gardner, the legend, the American Minshew. Thank you.
Minshew for the shoe.
Thank you.
Yeah. Probably like 7 or 8 wins.
That was moving. Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, with the Cardinals' luck, they'll beat the Commanders, and that'll end up being the tiebreaker to lose their first pick.
Could be.
Something like that. And then, with the Commanders' luck, that'll be the one game they need to make the playoffs.
Mhm.
And then Ron Rivera's going to get fired. And I like Ron. That's why I want him to win 9 games, because I don't want him to be fired.
Sorry.
Quiet Cannon says, to summarize, Cardinals will win at least 5 games. Wow,
5.
it's very optimistic.
Yeah.
Cardinal
Got me
Art
over.
says Washington Commandos and Seattle guarantee wins. Okay, somebody will put the word stop in somewhere. Make sure you don't ever text the word stop in your text, or else it's going to unsubscribe you to our text line.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to
Now you have-
sheepishly text
Resume.
Yeah.
Washington Commandos and Seattle guaranteed wins us beers. Randy, along with Stiff Shot of your finest whiskey.
Absolutely.
And they play each other in November 12th. I might go up for that game.
Wait a second. You mean here? There's 2
No, in
games.
Seattle.
No,
Right.
Washington, Seattle, November
Seattle,
12th.
Washington, November 12th in Seattle. I might go to that game.
Why?
I'm going to try to go to like one game up
But
there.
why that game?
I want to go to a game that they're going to win for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just,
Oh,
I'd rather go to a
yeah.
good game, but all right.
Wow.
And then I'll probably go to Dallas because I think in Dallas, so I'll go to Dallas. To see
I'm
them.
really thrilled about this Washington defense. Like, it's so good that I think that they're able to be a 500 team just on the back of the defense alone. And then they've got some talented wide receivers. I mean, in the time that Ron Rivera has been there, they've been 7-10. 8 and 9.
DeAndre Ayton.
8 and 9, and then last year 8 and 8. So
Need a
they've
quarterback.
just been around 500. They're not a bad football team. They need a quarterback.
If you had Caleb Williamson, you're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they're not bad enough, I don't think, to pick around there. So it's not going to happen.
I've never been to Lucas Oil Field, and my wife keeps saying, "Hey, you want to go to a game this year?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." And then we all right, we got to get a plane ticket. We got to get somebody to watch the dog, and then we have to. Then you got to get a hotel room, and then you got to be in a. Let's be honest, Indianapolis ain't a great place, and then you got to go all there. Then you got to park, and then you got to go in there, and you got to sit a bunch of. Then after we go through the whole plan, I'm like, let's just stay home.
Oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
See, to me, I think that would be a great trip. You could go to the great Indianapolis Motor Speedway, take the tour, go to the museum there.
That'd be cool.
Take the van around the legendary track. Then you could go to the ball game. Are you kidding me?
You got to do it.
Heck yeah. You could go by my where all my relatives are from, Washington, Indiana. You could take a little trek out there in the woods out there.
Just thinking about it makes me kind of tired. You know what I mean? People have FOMO. I'm the guy who has the fear of people not breaking plans. That makes me happy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
PNBP?
I don't know.
PNBP.
Because I've got a giant television, and I'm a very nice leather recliner.
Among other giant,
but you get to
leathery things
experience.
that you have.
You can experience the game with your fans, which you don't get. You don't have that.
I get uncomfortable around that many white people. It is very. It's
wow.
The same thing happens to me when I get off the plane in Portland, Oregon. I'm looking around. I'm like going, this is too many. This is too many. I don't feel I don't feel comfortable. But I mean, I don't know. I think if I'm going to go, Ralph, I'm not going to go to some game where I know my team will kick their ass. I want to go to a team where I want to see a game that's a good game, a tight game, a close game.
To me, it's about go up to Seattle, stay at the hotel right across the street from the stadium, hang out at Pioneer Square the night before.
That's smart. That's
do all the bars and stuff with the fans, do the parade the next morning, and then just walk over to the stadium. Yeah, they have this big parade thing that happens, and then
you
walk
guys
over
have a
to the
parade
stadium.
every game.
Yeah, so the fans kind of walk up the street to the stadium. It's a big deal. I mean, they have this whole ritual they go through, and just to be part of that. And then if you're staying next door, that's when you're done. You just walk next door and you get in your hotel room and you're good.
All that nonsense you just said, I don't think the Colts do. But if I can get a hotel across from Lucas Oil Field, but here's the thing: the kids are playing the Madden. You know, I had that story mode on Madden, and in his story mode, they stayed in a hotel across the street from the Lucas Oil Field, and it was a dump. So if that's reality, I don't want to stay in that crap hole.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But you know what? You got a good idea. I'm going to look up and see if there is a hotel within walking distance of that stadium, and somewhere between there and the stadium, I don't get murdered, then I might actually do this. I might actually finally go watch a game there. You know,
it seems like a cool stadium to go watch a game. I haven't never been there, but
stadium does seem pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, they keep having the combine there every year, so I assume they like it.
Cardinal Art says, just hire Izzy as your tour guide, Jeffco. Well, Izzy went and got a different job somewhere else. So,
I mean, Expedia has got a whole list of recommended hotels, right there.
Izzy would tell me, don't go to Indianapolis.
And they probably have meth friendly and non-meth friendly. So
yeah, there's the Conrad in Indianapolis, which is a half mile from Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a luxury hotel in downtown Indy.
The problem,
it's got a hot tub, pool. Only Indy hotel with on-site spa.
Yeah, I'm okay. Santa's number one helper says we need to get Randy with Jim Ross to broadcast a wrestling match. I'll pay for that.
Hyatt Regency, Indianapolis. That's about 3/4 of a mile.
Is it? How many stars is it? My wife won't stay in anything under 4 stars.
Well, it doesn't say stars. It's just it's a Hyatt Regency, though. I mean, come on.
I did stand up. I stayed in even because I found when you're driving from place to place, I stayed in so many Motel 6s. And you know what was interesting? I'll tell you what's interesting about the Motel 6s. When you're in a Motel 6, at least this was back in the 80s and 90s when I was doing stand-up. When you would go into the bathroom, there was one comforting thing. You'd get in the shower at a Motel 6, and it always said, made in Tempe, Arizona. I'm serious. I don't know if they're all still that way, but that always just kind of made me kind of like, oh, that feels nice.
Looking at the Hyatt Regency in Indianapolis for you guys. Located in the heart of the city with a sophisticated modern design connected via Skywalk to entertainment, dining, and more.
So can I skywalk my ass into the stadium?
Well, I don't know. I'm still looking this up.
Man, you're not much of a travel agent.
I'm working on it.
hoping you'd give me this
Skywalk
quicker.
here looks like, this is a nice place.
Average Joe says, Randy, you might want an Urban Dictionary Mississippi mudflap there.
I don't have to.
I don't think any of us should. CK says Texans will have 6 wins and the Cardinals will accidentally get 4. No number 1 pick, Randy. Sorry, bud.
They might have the 1 and
I
the
don't
2.
know why everybody hates me.
Nobody hates you, Randy.
Why does everybody hate me?
Why do you think
and my
somebody
team?
hates you?
Why does everybody hate me and my team?
Teams.
No, you're the one with teams, Ralph.
Well, I'm talking about the Cardinals,
Rams,
Diamondbacks.
Seahawks,
I'm talking
49ers.
Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Coyotes, ASU. I mean, just, there's a trend there.
Hefty Lefty says the last good NFL quarterback that came out of USC was Carson Palmer. Hopefully for Williams, he can buck that trend.
Absolutely will. This guy, I'm telling you.
See, we had a quarterback out of USC before.
Yeah, that benefited from Reggie Bush and everybody else. You guys, and you of course picked him, which was dumb.
I didn't pick his ass.
Not
It
you,
wasn't
your
me.
team. Your
Oh,
team.
yeah,
It was just a
thank you.
dumb.
They called Randy. Who is it?
I mean, yeah.
It's not Matt Leinart, I'll tell you that much.
Leinart didn't have anything about him that looked like he'd be a great pro at all.
Quiet Cannon says, Jeffrey, get a nice hotel, then Uber to the game. That seems simple and relaxing.
Yeah,
I don't
Skywalk right there from the Hyatt Regency.
I don't want to take a cab. I don't want to take an Uber. I don't want to.
The Skywalk.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
Alex
don't
would
get
love a walk to the stadium.
No,
and
I'm
walk
good with
home.
the Skywalk. I'll
Yeah,
Skywalk.
well, there you go.
Last Optimist says RCA Dome had a Skywalk to 2 hotels. Okay. Thank you. We have to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4214. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4214. That's 800-575-4214. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or t-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Stay Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and with the schedule releases today, we're learning about where our teams will be and when and that sort of thing. Bruno Baller says, Jeffrey, if the Colts ever play in Vegas, that would be a fun trip. Yeah, it's all right. But see, it really is more. I probably should make a pilgrimage. They've been my team ever since I was 11 years old. They were in Baltimore when I started watching them. They moved in the middle of the night to Indianapolis. I didn't care because it's no different to me where they live because I was here in Phoenix. And, so I've never gone to that stadium. So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to I just go ahead and do it. But I want to do it for a competitive game.
Do it.
Well, that means I'll go next year. Because I don't know how competitive the Colts are going to be this year. Big George says the Omni Hotel has a private skywalk entrance to Petco Park in downtown San Diego. If you stay at the hotel or valet park your car there during the game, you can use that skywalk. It's very convenient. Cardinal Art says, I believe Matt Say It Ain't So Flynn is still getting checks.
I don't know what he's talking about. Matt Flynn
from Seattle.
Oh,
Matt Flynn was the guy they brought over when they drafted Russell Wilson, and they never ever played him because Russell took the job as a rookie
in the preseason. That's how convincingly obvious it was.
Toby says, Randy, I believe in you. The Cardinals will win 0 games, and you will be the parade grand marshal. Cause says Washington will lick the boots of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Georgia Bulldogs.
I didn't think Washington was going to play the Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, I mean, if you play the Philadelphia Eagles, you are essentially playing the Georgia Bulldogs. They drafted so damn many of those guys.
Oh, I see.
But who was the only team to beat them in the regular season?
Shots fired.
That was Washington.
Shots fired.
I will agree with the Cause on this one. He says this whole thing is just a cry of attention from the NFL. You're right. They're just saying, don't forget, we're here.
It's like what we were saying yesterday with the money and them putting football on every day of the damn week. When it comes to the schedule release, it's just the NFL going, yeah, we own your summer too. So here we are.
Donnie says, yeah, the schedule is for diehard fans that travel to games like myself. Fair weather Cardinal fans wouldn't know about that. Donnie, you just
fair
blindly
weather?
hate.
Donnie, fair.
Donnie
weather?
seems like a fairly intelligent person, and he just
How many Minnesota
blindly
games?
hates on everything in Arizona.
How many Minnesota games did you go to last year, Donnie?
And why?
I'll just wait.
Hook'em Hottie says, words I never thought I'd say. Ralph is right. The talking heads on ESPN say the Seahawks actually could be contenders. Yeah, what do you know? You like Amy Lawrence.
And you know what's cool?
How did we come back around?
I'm just kidding.
The cool part is this Thanksgiving evening they're playing at home against the Niners. That'll be an awesome Thanksgiving night game. So
I'll be asleep.
You'll be awake.
They're bringing back Washington versus Dallas on Thanksgiving too.
See, that's awesome.
They do it every once in a while.
It's classic.
It's not every year.
I love
it.
that.
Should be always Cowboys versus the Washington Commandos. It should always be Lions versus whoever the hell they want. Packers, Bears. Oh, Bears. Well, no, it should be Packers and Bears. Packers, Bears.
Should be like an NFC North matchup.
I don't know. I miss the traditional games.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says the schedule release lets people finally book their flights for their games.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that this year.
I won't be traveling to any Cardinal games this year. Sorry.
You gotta go to one.
No.
Will you go to the home game?
No.
Huh.
And I live just well, as you guys know, I live not too far from the stadium.
Well, the owner of Harmon Solar every year travels to one Cardinal game. So I don't know where he's going this year. But
good luck.
He does it every year.
Good man. Big George, okay. We don't, he says, for listeners in California, we have a few, but I don't know that we need to do this public service announcement. But he says a preliminary 5.5 magnitude earthquake struck near Lake Almanor in Northern California. Okay, I'm just going to stop you there. Nobody cares. We had a couple of earthquakes in Northern Arizona yesterday, like a 3-point something or other.
Wow.
I had an earthquake in my bathroom this morning. This Kim is still kind of shaking from it. what
She has
happened
after
this morning.
effects, aftershocks.
Just turn on a fan.
Yeah.
Just put a sign on the door.
You know, and I said, excuse me. So,
I mean, that's all you need to do.
It's all those aftershocks.
Let's just get this out of the way while we can. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2004, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, city officials and historians released a 1791 document that they believe was the earliest written reference to baseball. The 213-year-old bylaw used to protect the windows of the town's new meeting house by prohibiting anybody from playing baseball within 80 yards of the building. They found that, and that's how old baseball is. Or at least
you lost me with
nice,
Massachusetts.
Nice landing there.
No, I ran out of time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's 1791. That's far earlier than anybody ever knew, but they actually put a law saying, hey, you can't be playing baseball around here, you damn kids. You quit breaking our windows.
Wonder how they played baseball with all those powder wigs and those high stockings. How did they do that? And those clogs they used to wear as shoes.
You get plunked, and all of a sudden there's like,
you see what
all
I'm
that
saying?
powder.
Yeah.
What state was that in?
Massachusetts.
I don't think anybody slid feet first because you had the fancy buckle on the
Oh,
shoe.
nobody
It's
slid.
dangerous. It's dangerous.
You just went base to base.
Well, back in 1791, they sort of pranced with a purpose.
They used England tea bags as the bases.
Pranced with a purpose.
Yeah, they did that whole.
That's a bumper sticker. Right?
Prance with a purpose.
Tally ho, prance with a purpose.
Actually, yeah, that's a phrase now. It's not just a bumper sticker. Lost Toby says, Randy, can we watch soccer on Sundays?
No.
Why are you asking Randy?
No.
Well, he's not gonna have anything else to do.
And also, I think they know it's not you. You're not watching soccer.
No,
with anybody.
you'll watch the Cardinal games. You know you will. You know you will. You know you'll get next to the one-eyed god in your front room, and you know you'll be curious, and you'll just want to. What if all of a sudden the Cardinals somehow have a miraculous day where the Lord is shining down His beams of goodness on them, and they beat the hated other team, whatever team. Insert team name here. You know you will.
Blow.
We won't have to watch soccer. Please.
Bruno Baller says, so the whole get off my lawn, man, goes all the way back to the 1700s.
What?
Are you kidding me? I mean, don't you remember the original get off my lawn is called the Declaration of Independence, the ultimate get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You red coat bastards. Hefty Lefty says, sources say that Bob Huggins is not a prancing. Yeah.
That's a good point. With a purpose or otherwise.
We're going to get in trouble again. So the first game of the season, I thought, what happened to the first game of the season being a Super Bowl rematch? Didn't they used to do that?
It used to be that. And then we had a couple of really bad ones where the Super Bowl loser would just either one team was just not healthy enough, or the Super Bowl loser would usually lose enough people in free agency and stuff that it just wouldn't even be a good game. So they just started choosing the matchups just to be fun.
All right. I mean, maybe this will be good. At first glance, I'm like, oh, maybe we won't even air this one. But then I think, well, wait a second. The Lions won 8 of their last 10 games last season, right? And they got Jared Goff, Amon, Top Ramen, St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson all those guys are going to be there. And they're playing the Chiefs. So the first game of the season, Thursday Night Football, here on 15A The Fanatic, will be Lions at Chiefs.
Shootout.
Yeah.
Even all the games the Lions were losing early in the year were exciting shootouts. They were losing games like 50-45. Like they were scoring lots of points. And the Chiefs don't really play defense. And the Lions don't really play defense. But boy, both of those teams can score. And there's weapons all over the place. Like, that's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah, but at first glance, you're like,
well, yeah, because you're just conditioned to see the Lions and go, oh, gross. And then you see the Chiefs, you know they're good, you know they're champs. And so you're sitting there going, what about this matchup could be anything other than just a steamrolling? Well, the Lions score points now. It's
automatic fantasy football implications on game one. That's the only way I can sell that. Lost Toby says, I'll bring the Blantons. You do that. And Tom Brady is going to be a guest of honor at the home opener for the Patriots. But will he be there?
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
They're going to honor him at the opener,
Yeah,
and
he'll be there.
They didn't cut him. They
You don't
didn't
think
trade him.
there's still some bad blood between him and Belichick.
I think there's a little, but I don't think that it's. I don't think it was ever anything other than football for Bill. So as long as Tom was able to just go, okay, this is just how Bill's wired. He's crazy like that. Then they can get over it.
Well, the home opener, I guess, are they going to Ring of Honor him? Is it going to be retiring his number? I mean, what is the whole plan here? You know, I don't understand.
You would assume they would.
I mean, I haven't seen anything saying some sort of Ring of Honor or retiring his number. It's just they want to honor him as they start the season. They want to honor him for his time there in New England, and I'm sure it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is sorry, we don't have a quarterback, so to get you guys to buy tickets to come to the game, hey, look, our old quarterback is here. Oh, let's honor him.
No, I don't know about that.
Brock Purdy, by the way, local boy, done good. He had that Tommy John's surgery thing there, and they're saying that he's looking good. He's going through all the motions, and he's not throwing the football. He's throwing towels, and because he can't do anything heavier. But he says that he's doing all the things, all the same drills as the other quarterbacks. He's using a towel to throw, but doing violent motion, still moving it, just not doing it with a football. So he says, yeah. But here is the line from Kyle Shanahan. He's like, oh yeah, as long as Brock Purdy's elbow heals right, he'll be the exact same guy. Hey, Kyle. Even if it doesn't, he'll be the exact same guy.
I think he meant as a quarterback.
Kind of a dumb thing to say, Kyle. Just say. But good to hear, and hopefully Brock Purdy will come out and have another great season. Just good to see a local kid do well. Big George has a question for Randy White, 1580 The Fanatic, 99.3 FM and 95.9 FM in the East Valley.
Yeah.
Who do you think will be the ultimate win the series between Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken? He says right now it's tied at 2 games apiece. Also, will the Las Vegas Golden Knights or Edmonton Oilers come out of that series that is also tied at 2 games?
Got to tell you, I think Las Vegas wins that series. And as far as the Stars and the Kraken, go Stars!
All right. And anybody want to argue with that point?
Yeah, I think Seattle's going to win that series, and I think Edmonton comes out of their series.
You know how he feels.
Complete the polar opposite of what I said.
Absolutely the polar opposite.
Yeah.
I think Edmonton will be playing for the Stanley Cup final.
All right, so there you go, George. Hope that floats your boat there. Whatever. Hey, Keon, your team. We all thought it was sold. Now it's not so.
There's some stuff, but yeah,
I guess Josh Harris's bid. Here's the problem. There's a rule about how much you can borrow, and he don't have the money, and he's got to borrow the money. And so here's what they're worried about: the size of the group of partners and his Harris's ability to be the principal owner of the team from a liquidity standpoint. So will the NFL sort of be like, don't worry about it, we're good? Or does this mean this thing is going to go on even longer?
No, I think the NFL is going to figure out a way to work through it. It's going to probably slow the process down a little bit more, so it's not going to go as fast as we thought. But
I don't got no 30%.
But it not on hand at the moment. So that's a problem. But like no one else that's wanting to bid for the team has that either. So it's just, does the league trust Josh Harris? Do they trust the investigation that they've done into his finances that everybody has to go through for this, that they did the first time when he tried to bid for Denver and now? Well, and do they trust the fact that, hey, this guy also is a stakeholder in 2 other professional sports franchises to know, okay, this guy's going to be good for it or no?
He better get this done now, because as the value of franchises goes up and up, if his pile of money doesn't go up and up too, he's going to find himself on the outside of owning an NFL team.
Yeah.
And the NFL may need to kind of take a look at the way they structure things, so that, or else nobody's going to be able to sell a team again, So
if it falls through, does it go back to the old owner?
I mean, if it falls through, then they would just continue the bidding process. It would just, because unless Dan Snyder's like, oh, well, I guess I get to keep it. But the fact that he's moved his entire everything to London tells me that he doesn't plan on being around. So I think that they're gonna go through with the process and probably skirt their rules if they trust that Josh Harris is good for the money.
NFL doing NFL things, I guess. Swave Dave wants you all to know he just got home. King Kennedy says, I'd like to travel to ASU's last Pac-12 regular game against UCLA in Pasadena. Pasadena? That's a strange place. What? No,
Pasadena.
It's not spelled that way. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're just out of time. I can't read your text. We'll get back to those tomorrow. We'll see you guys. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.